Yeah, I played it again.
Well, because everyone misses it.
Yeah.
It's
And it's
majestic.
going the show. Yeah, it is majestic. And the show is going out on both channels tonight.
Because we're going to talk about some watches.
Don't put some watchers.
Some watches. Let's talk about some watches. Yeah, what you got? Some new watches. What do you want?
Anybody who's watching this, maybe live or after the fact, in days to come. This is an episode of the Eye Bashers, where we bash things out. It's like a podcast. We talk about all sorts of shit.
Talk about you.
And but I put it up. It's going out on the Watch channel or whatever Oshinamali channel it is at this point, because yeah, we will be talking about watches too. So there's a crossover. So I figured let's all come together and
Doom doom doodle doo. Doom doom doodle doo.
come together.
Right now. Over me.
You see, when I
hell.
respond, you sing and I respond, it's in time for me. But then
me
I
too.
see it back.
Oh.
I see it back and then I'm out of time, which annoys
really?
me. Yeah, because there's a latency there, you know.
I hear it though in time.
Oh, you hear it in time?
I do.
Well, that's encouraging, at least that.
Yeah. Well, it's good for
Sometimes
us,
we
but not for
harmonize
them.
together and it's all in time. And then I see it back at, playback, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out of time. I don't
That's
sound
because-
like an actual musician, you know.
Well, it's in time for us because how many billions of rehearsals have you done in your life?
I know. I was in the cafe around the corner the other day, and some song came on, and these two fellas came in. I don't know if they're British or American or something. They were trying to ask for a coffee in Italian, and then Andrea he went into English for them. But some song was on. I can't remember what it was, and they started singing along and riffing. And I thought, these guys are singers, a little bit, or they fancy themselves as. So I'm just in the corner drinking my coffee. I'm completely
A
I never
voyeur.
say hello. Yeah, I'm a dark guy in the background, doesn't say hello to anyone. And I just start whistling the harmony of everything, just singing.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And they turn around, they're like,
Yeah. What the
I'm
fuck
like,
are you
I'm
doing?
just having my coffee here. I'm going to shut up.
I do that with.
I did a lower third as well. I didn't do the.
I love lower thirds.
Yeah.
You know who does a lot of lower thirds, which is not a very
ABBA.
common ABBA, yeah. But Iron Maiden. Bruce
Oh, they
Dickinson
do?
does it a lot. He does the third under the lead, and
Because
I
that's
love
beautiful.
that.
That's
It's
a beautiful
beautiful.
thing. Oh
Yeah.
my God. We love
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, there's that song on first time I heard it because I was so young and I didn't really know what all that shit was. I remember there's a song called Sun and Steel on the Peace of Mind record, and it's like sunlight falling on your steel, death and life is your, and it's like sunlight falling on your steel, death and life. I was like, oh, I love that.
Just
That's
adds
really
a lot of
good. Yeah,
beauty to it.
and weight gives it a
Yeah,
lot
weight.
of weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the go-to is the upper third. But then if
always.
you just drop it.
Always. Yeah.
How's everybody who's here tonight?
Let's get the magic mirror out and let's
On
see.
both channels, we have Eye Bashers watching and Oshinamali, or formerly known as Timeless Watch Channel guys watching too. Guys and gals.
Hey, guys and gals. It's Logan and Justin and Daza and Michael and Jeff and Tobster and Ricky and Ray Ray. Hey, Ray Ray. And Stuart and AS and Wes and Scott and Will and Tim and Bud and Doug and Ben and Lynn.
Just go.
Joe Roar the Tiger, ME Watch Reviews, MS Rick Deckard, Andrew Wolkowicz, JJ Sacamano, Bobby Lacare, Severin. I mean, there's a lot of people in here. It's hard to keep going. Rob Morrison. And So It Goes. I love that. So It Goes. That's great. That's a great title for a song. And So It Goes.
And so it goes. It's beautiful.
It's a great title for a song. And So It Goes. I'm going to have to come up with that. I'm in a writing mode right now. So
Are you?
So it goes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been writing like a freaking maniac.
Oh, good for
Yeah.
you. I haven't written a song in bloody ages.
I have
years.
to. We have to put out a new record by the end of this year. So
Ah.
We have to, because it's been 2 years since the last one already. 27 years in between records, and then
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Watch Crazy is watching from Hawaii.
Hawaii.
I played 14 shows in Hawaii years ago. Watch Crazy.
I've
In
never
7
been.
days, in 1 week. We did 2 shows a day.
Oof.
At the Queen something or other in Waikiki.
The Queen Kalakalakamani.
Something like that.
Everything's like that. Kalakawaka, Hukawakamani.
The same guy, the same promoter who brought Elvis to Hawaii back in the 60s, early 60s, and who brought bigger bands like U2 and so on over. He fell in love with our band and he flew us over. His name was Tom
Parker?
No.
Colonel Tom Parker.
He was the sweetest gentleman I've ever met in my life, honestly.
Oh.
Tom something or other. He was wonderful. And it's just my memory's gone to shit. It's been so long. But great guy. And we did 2 shows. We did like an under 16 show at 2 in the afternoon or something.
How were the pickings at that show? Good, right?
What do you mean the pickings? What, the women? They were beautiful.
Bad joke. Yeah.
Actually, that's Tom Moffat. That's him. Watch Crazy. Thank you, Tom Moffat.
Wow.
We all went to dinner with him a few times, actually.
As any good promoter will do, he will dine you.
And but he was on. We got in the taxi. We got off the flight and get into the taxis and drive into the hotel, and we hear our songs coming on as like a medley of our songs, and we hear this voice going, "Mr. North, the best new band, whatever." And
that's
it's
the
him.
Queen
He did it
Kakalakamani
himself.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so nice.
Aw. That's pretty cool.
The guy was, he was splendid. Now that's where I met Leslie.
Splendid. It's great.
Leslie there.
Yeah, I know that's where you met Leslie.
Yeah.
Splendid is a word we need to stick back in our lexicons.
Splendid.
How was the show? Oh, splendid. I like Nevertheless. I love that.
Yes.
And I love, this is the one I keep saying I'm going to start using. Naturally. I love it.
I use that all the time.
Do you? I love it. Naturally. It's great.
You're talking about my favorite subject right now.
Forget watches, me
forget
too.
Music.
Yeah,
the
language.
Command over the English language is one of my favorite things in the world.
Agreed.
It's just, I love it.
Agreed.
I was talking about it a bit.
Your vocabulary flummoxes me.
Don't call me Larry. I love that. When I said that to little Ella, my niece. Wow, you have a great vocabulary. She's like, thanks, but don't call me Larry. I'm like, wow, you're 7 and the smartest person I've ever met.
Yeah, she is smart.
Yes, we love all of that stuff. It's just a beautiful language when it can roll off the tongue and you can dance with it and play with it. And it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
If you have that skill. Who else is coming in here?
Somebody said it's already a Billy Joel song. So watch Crazy So It Goes. YouTuber user knows. Patricia Teagan, Christian Coleman, Aaron Burton, Dundee Nut. Daza Davies, Christian Coleman. We could just go on for hours.
Did you see my Billy Joel post earlier on Instagram?
I don't go on Instagram.
No.
I'm afraid I'll be arrested for being a pedophile.
So the caption, let me see if I can pull it up. The caption is when you forget how people from Northern Ireland say the word now. The word now.
Uh-huh.
It's night.
I'm sorry, I laughed all day long.
What's I don't get it. What is this?
It's nigh. He's about
Oh,
to say, it's 9 o'clock.
It's nigh.
It's 9. And then it just... I rolled.
It's nigh.
Lydia said that to me at 7 in the morning.
That's
I woke
brutal.
up to that, I'm like,
It's
oh
nigh.
my God, it's just fucking rolling around the bed. It just takes forever. It's the whole intro with the piano. It's night. And this. Nigh.
Nigh.
The strangest thing is that the word for no is also nigh.
Nigh, yeah.
Ulster says nigh.
Nigh.
I'm gonna have a cigar while we're talking here. I have an A Fuente Grand Reserva. There's a beautiful thing, guys.
Looks like a pencil.
If you've never, yeah, it looks like a pencil. Well, you know what's on it outside the wrapper? It's
an eraser.
Its own cedar for lighting it. Ooh,
Something I learned last week.
Yeah. So it's got its own little piece of cedar just in case you left the house without one.
And you don't want the chemical fuel taste.
Yeah, we don't want that. Never light it with a Zippo. Definitely don't do that because you don't want that vibe going on.
Yeah, because that just smells like jet fuel.
So, of course, flavor of the week has been, my whole discussion about whether the watch prices have really, they've dropped, but whether it's an actual crash or just a little bit of a shift in your seat, shifting your weight, and received a lot of pushback for that and so on. I talked about it a lot last night, but I figured we'd take a look. We'd actually pull up the sites and take a look at the actual prices. But before we do that, why don't we talk about a little scandal?
Oh, I love a scandal. Is it juicy?
Alec Baldwin, one of our favorite guys, might
Well,
be in trouble. And I know we have a lot of gun fellas in the guys who like their guns in the audience.
Gun fellas in the house.
So you guys can help us out with like anything technical, because I think this is a technical conversation. And people who hold their guns dear to their heart are all about the nuance and the technical side of how it all works. So he might actually still be in some hot water. Investigators have decided that it's unlikely the gun went off by itself.
Ooh.
So he said that he had cocked it back. This is a single, what do you call it? Single action revolver. So it's a single thing. So there aren't that many movements on the inside. It's old fashioned.
Sure. Antique.
Yeah. I think the one they were using on the set is antique, and that's one of my theories, even as a not an expert in any way with guns.
Right.
He cocked it back all the way back.
Uh-huh.
Now, I was speaking to a chap earlier who was filling me in on all of this kind of stuff. He knows a lot about it. And he was saying if it's not cocked back, if the hammer is all the way forward, like in resting position, to pull that trigger requires a lot of force because you're pulling the trigger and you're sending it back into cocked position and then sending it forward. But what a lot of people do is they pull it back. You see it in the movies and so on. They pull it back, they cock it, they get it ready, and that way it requires the minimum of force. And the question now is, did he have the finger on the trigger?
Well, I think first we should probably just remember Helena Hutchins and say what a tragedy that was for everyone, her family, everyone involved. I mean, nobody expected something like that. What a bright light, what a great talent, what a future, what a pioneer.
Yeah, could have been one of the great cinematographers of history. Did you see they released the actual shot? Beautiful.
I didn't, but I heard.
Let me see if I can pull it up. They released the actual shot that she was filming, and it's beautifully framed. Of course it is. And it's super panoramic and 16:9 or whatever it is, 23:1 or whatever.
Yeah, that's
aspect ratio. And Yeah, he actually tried to get the film finished because he is a producer on the film, and he thought, well, if it is her last film that she shot, let's try and finish it in her memory.
How far along were they in the filming process?
Very good question. I don't know.
Like, is there a ton of other cinematographers or one or two or whatever that finished it? Is it going to feature? I mean, if it's going to feature her final work, I think then yes. And all
I think
proceeds
that's a
should go
nice
to
way.
her
I think
family.
if she were around,
She'd
if
want
somehow you had your say, like a ghost, beyond the grave, she'd be like, do me one last fucking favor, show everybody the work I was doing, because that's what I was focused on. I mean, I would be like that if I was about to release an album that I'd worked on for ages, and then I got hit by a car, and somehow I had one last phone call, from heaven. I'd be like, can you just, play people the fucking record, please? Because that's what I was, that would be my thing.
Well, I'm sure that all of that will, if it goes to trial or whatever kind of litigation, I'm sure that
Can you see that?
Sure, it can.
This is all footage from.
We're going to talk to everybody here in a sec. We're getting these guys treated. We're securing the scene.
This is after
and then we'll get with you guys in a sec. It's their safety. They're a medical priority first.
I think at first they didn't even know what really happened. They didn't realize an actual bullet came out. There's the shot.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. He's rehearsing the moment.
All the rounds I was told, you need to verify. I think this is important.
That's when they brought him in for questioning. But I thought that was powerful that they released that. You can see the lighting is all cinematic and beautiful.
Oh yeah.
She was using ARRI cameras, of course. Yeah.
All the rounds I was told, you need to verify. I think this is important. They take the gun, they empty it, and all the rounds that are in there were either dummy rounds, no flash, cold rounds, or rounds with a flash. In the rehearsal, there should have been nothing. It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds, cosmetic rounds, no flash. I take the gun out slowly. I turn, I cock the pistol. Bang, it goes up. She hits the ground. She goes down. He goes down, screaming. He's like, Jesus Christ. And I'm going. And I thought that maybe sometimes the wadding can come out if you're close and you get a burn.
Very loud bang. And it felt like somebody kicked me.
Oh, that's him. That's the director.
And then I was down on my ass. And then I looked over and see the cinematographer, Helena Hutchins, with blood coming out of her back.
Holding a what? I'm sorry?
With blood coming out of her back.
Okay.
She was between me and I think where the gun was.
Listen.
This is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's terrible. Listen, it's. I don't believe the guy wanted to shoot anyone.
God, no.
I think there are people who want to believe that.
People who don't like him on a political level.
Right. He's got just want him to go down.
He's got a lot of naysayers, a lot of people who don't like him. He's a really smart, funny, talented guy, but he's outspoken on one particular side of the political spectrum. So he's going to have those people. Is he a good person? From all angles, everyone says yes. I can't see in a million years how a guy like he could be held responsible because he's an actor and there are licensed people in charge of that stuff. So I don't understand that at all. I mean, it's terrible. I think he handled it wrong. I don't like the way he did that interview. Like I've said this before, I just think he should have kept his mouth shut and grieved and shouldn't have knocked up his wife. Because why are you having sex? You should be so paralyzed with guilt and
you're off making babies again.
You're off making babies, and it's how are they going to name it Helena if it's a girl? Well, they should, because it's just and I don't like his wife. None of us like his wife because she's in cucumbers. How do you say that in English? She's just
say cucumber.
How do you say?
Andrew Wallowich, $10 Canadian. Thank you so much. Starting a trend, I hope. Is it Volkovich?
Is it Volkovich? Andrew Volkovich.
Volkovich.
Are you? Where are you? Croatian? Are you? What is it? That it sounds. Former Yugoslavian. Let us know.
Thank
Andrew.
you so much, Andrew.
For that.
And guys, this is the way to grab our attention. By the way, I mean, we love doing this stuff, but We're not going to earn any bloody Google AdSense off this. You want to help keep us around and pay for a drink or something? We're not going to say no, and hopefully we give you something to listen to for the next hour or two.
It helps build the channel too, like upcoming giveaways and things, promotions and stuff we could do. We'd really like to turn this into a full-time thing because we love you guys and we love doing it and it's fun. Because
we will. If it makes sense, we will. Yeah. And that's all about the encouragement that you guys give us. So
yeah. So thanks. And thank you, Andrew. I'm gonna guess Andrew. It's Volkovich. I'm gonna guess. The W is often
a question that came after that.
No. But
he did.
He has one.
He did. He missed it. He said, "Stay awesome."
Oh, thank you.
It's not a question, but quite often people.
Is it Volkovich? Not Volkovich.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, so we get it right.
Thank
I don't want
you
to butcher anybody's name. Single action cockhammer pull trigger. We knows about guns. Look at that.
Who pulled that up?
Andrew. Yeah. Single action cockhammer, then pull trigger only on what you want to shoot. Be aware of where the barrel is positioned. Well,
so when you cock that thing all the way back, I saw somebody demonstrate it today on the internet. It takes the minimum of pressure for it to snap, for it to go. And I thought, like with my big hands, I would probably just taking it, and if I put my finger in that area there to pull the trigger, just the weight of my big stupid sausage fingers would probably set it off. I think that Alec doesn't realize that he did actually touch the trigger. He just doesn't realize because he thought, he thought he was safe. At the end of the day, he's an actor. What the hell is he supposed to know about guns? But then there's the next question. If you're going to handle guns on a set, shouldn't you be trained? Shouldn't you know?
I think that they are. But who would have ever expected? Why in the world would there ever be a live round event? Why?
Yeah, here's the question. Why would there be a live round within miles of a film set? They don't need a real one at all for anything. That it's not like they need, do we need fakes for this scene or a real one? Like when would they need a real bullet?
Would never need it.
Oh, there's a bear coming. Somebody shoot it. Like
there's a rattlesnake.
Yeah. Well, in what scenario do they need a real bullet? So what's a real bullet hanging around a set for?
Yeah.
I don't know how, but the problem is that gun laws are very interesting. They're very, very interesting. And if he is found to have lied or misled people in his first statements, he could end up paying a big price. And then the next thing is, if there's gross negligence because of what happened, and he presides over the production because he's a producer of the film, he could wind up, in trouble for that. Because if it's negligence on the set, yes, there may be one person, that armorer, who we haven't seen and heard enough of. This girl, what the fuck was she doing? It would seem to me that it's really her. She should be on the front lines of this inquisition. But if it comes down to her, who hired her, who gave her the job, who presided over that whole position, quite often that's the person that gets. Remember the end of Donnie Brasco, the film?
I'm planning on rewatching it because of Anne Heche.
Anne Heche is great in that. Oh,
she's so great in that.
The scenes with her and Johnny Depp are magnificent. They are powerhouses, both of them. But she outacts him.
She does. She was an absolutely fantastic actress.
Oh my God, really magnificent! Was. Yeah, amazing woman, amazing actor, and sorry, let me get back to the thing. Oh yeah, so. At the end, when it comes out that Donnie Brasco was actually an FBI agent, then it goes to Lefty sitting there watching his nature programs, and then he gets sent for. He gets the phone call. I got sent for, and he takes off his rings and puts his whatever cash he has, and he puts it in the drawer, and he says goodbye to Annette. She doesn't know what it is, and he leaves, and we assume he got clipped because he vouched for Donnie. But the truth, the real story is that the Lefty didn't. that Sonny Black did. Sonny Black was Michael Madsen's character. He presided over that whole team that were doing Brooklyn and Lower Manhattan. He was the guy who got clipped for that mistake. Is it okay if I say clipped? I that's something I heard in Donnie Brasco. He got clipped.
Everybody knows what clipped means.
Okay, as long as everybody's
Don't
cool
they?
with that. I assume. I'm just saying,
Means
right?
Taken out.
Taken out, right? They got sent
Sure.
for,
Got
right?
clipped.
Yeah, you get a phone call.
It's definitely in New York. New Yorkies, we definitely say clipped.
Yo, we got clipped. So yeah, so it's like whoever's presiding. So I know that was a weird tangent analogy, whatever. I just mean that she herself, the armorer, if I were to put money on it, I would say it's down to her. It's her fault. It's got to be her fault. However, she was hired by a certain person, being paid by a certain person, or a couple of people, and one of those people was Alec.
Wow.
You know, I put this in my
Highland Hamish.
It's too fucking late already.
10 pounds. Highland Hamish. Greetings from the Highlands of Scotland, guys. Great chat for Saturday night. Are you having some haggis? What are you having? What are you having in the Highlands right tonight? What are you having? I have never been to Scotland. Have you?
Whenever I hear the word, the name Hamish,
Yeah, you think of
Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Me too. Me too. What a great film that was. What a really great script, great cast. It's a cute, super cute movie. It's like Notting Hill, which is my absolute favorite little rom-com. It's just adorable. She's so cute. He's so wonderful in it. It's just those great 90s or early 2000s ensemble pieces, the British ones.
Best line in Notting Hill. You stupid prick.
Yeah, you stupid prick. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Best scene in Four Weddings and a Funeral. The funeral.
Oh, yeah.
He was my north, my south, my east, my west.
Jesus, right. Unbelievable. Oof. You know what's another good one in that era? Sliding Doors.
Oh, yes.
With Gwyneth
Is that that
Paltrow.
era?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the guy who said the speech, my north, my south, my east, my west. That was Hamish's boyfriend, that actor.
That same actor.
Yeah, I don't know his name off the top of my head. He's great. I'm sure one of you bashies do, though.
I've never been to Scotland because I'm Irish. That's like an Italian.
What does that mean?
dog.
They're Celts.
I know, but it's like it's more of the same. It's like as Billy Connolly said years ago. It's like, why did the Irish move? Like, move over to Scotland, expand over to Scotland. It's like follow that black cloud. Or the weather's worse in that direction. Let's walk in that direction. It's a big joke. It's like, why would the Irish? I was asked that recently. A while back. By a British, there was a model girl who was over with some fans of the channel, and she's British, and she's very nationalist British, and she was like, do you like England? And I was like, look, I like England, sure, but it's only a slight shift for me. Going from Ireland to England going from Dublin to London's great and has different flavor, but not that different. It's not like going from Dublin to Tokyo or Dublin to New York.
Tea and crisps.
There's still cups of tea and very white people and all of that.
Lots of crisps and Cadbury chocolate and there's all that.
It's just a shift of accent, but going to Scotland would be. For an Irish person, it's not. I think for someone maybe from Italy, it's a big adventure.
What
It's
about
like,
the
wow.
Highlands, though? The Highlands are like,
beautiful.
I'm Connor McLeod of the clan. All the talk about.
But they shot Braveheart in Ireland. Most of Braveheart was shot in Ireland because we have pretty much the same. We don't have quite the same drama of mountainous area. Scotland is a more intense. What do they call the intense espresso? Ristretto. Yeah, it's espresso times 10.
Yeah.
So it's the ristretto of. It's like you really want to see how crazy. You want to see a mountain covered in, you know, hard nettles.
Out
You know,
on the Wiley Wintimore. Like that Batman movie. Oh, sorry, James Bond movie, Skyfall, where he's got the mansion Skyfall. It's in the Highlands, it's all low, looming fog and mountain, treacherous.
Well, we've seen some
landscapes.
of it on Adrian's channel, Adrian Barker, because he's there. He moved there from London like a year or two ago, and moved the whole channel there.
Yeah.
And whenever he used it on his channel, I thought it was magnificent. I don't know why he doesn't use it more. You know, it's probably fucking freezing cold. Maybe that's why he's just not in the mood. It's easier
the kind
to
of
sit
cold,
at home.
you know, though. It's the devil, you know. It's that, you know. You have to have a barber. Yeah, it's damp. You need a barber jacket, a proper barber hunting coat, and wellies. And,
wellies.
You need all that.
You need wellies.
Wellies.
But anyway, we're just straying off the thing. I don't know now if Alec is going to be in trouble. I personally don't believe that he. I think that the people who love guns and respect guns and want guns to be taken very seriously are annoyed by Hollywood and by actors and so on, going, "Oh, I didn't know she got shot," and they're going, "Don't you understand that you had a deadly weapon in your hand? Don't you have training?" You know, it infuriates them. I think there's a lot of conscientious gun owners who get annoyed every time they see some fool in Hollywood who doesn't know what he's doing, and some crazy lonely guy, some incel who decides to shoot up his whole school, and they're like, "Oh, for crying out loud! Like, is this the face of the weaponry? Like, please do not. Please be more responsible. Handle with care, you morons."
Well, they make them look bad. It's like the way I feel vegans make vegetarians look. Like, fuck off. They've ruined it for
vegetarians
everybody.
are fine, but vegans are like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's like a whole set of rules, and they're like places you can't go, and fuck off. It's annoying. So anyway, thank you, Russell C. John Hanna. That is the actor. He's like, you have my north, my south,
my east, my west.
My west.
My Sunday best.
Yeah, my Sunday best. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment in that film. That reminded me of it was almost Shakespearean, that moment. Because,
very much so.
Yeah, because Shakespeare would write about tragedy and drama, but then he would always have the comic relief. He was the original comic relief writer. That he would like give everybody a moment to breathe.
Which Shakespeare?
Yeah, which of the 1,000 guys who wrote? Which of the spear shakers?
Yeah, the spear shakers, right?
But it was reverse. The film was so lighthearted and so funny, and then it had a moment where you go, a sobering moment,
sure,
and then a breath, and then back to the funniness.
the levity,
and I thought that's I like that. A lot of American rom-coms are there's nothing in there at any point, especially recently. You know,
it's just Owen Wilson,
Judd Apatow, and all of those. It's just funny, silly, funny, all the way to the end. There's no moment, a sobering moment in there.
There's in Trainwreck. There is. Did you see Trainwreck?
That's Judd Apatow.
Yeah,
I have.
There was a sobering moment. Her dad died in it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that was a good one. He doesn't usually do it. Think that movie was really well done. What's your favorite line from that movie? Mine is when the girls were all sitting around. And they're all kind of nerdy from Connecticut, and they're waspy, and they're like, hoo, 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 and they're drinking, you know, Pinot Grigio, and one girl goes, "Don't tell my husband, but in the middle of the night, I sneak down and I have some ice cream," and they're all like, oh, and the other girl goes, "I'm on a diet, but I also every once in a while I sneak a cream puff," and they get to Amy Schumer, and she goes, "One time I let a cab driver finger me." Like, hilarious.
So just to finish up on the Alec thing, I hope he's all right. I don't think he meant. I always think
mean to do
that, you know, I relate to that guy because I feel like I'm gonna be him. Like I'm getting heavier. I'm still a drinker. You know, by the time I'm his age, I'm him. You know,
I just hope you get a series with Tina Fey.
right? You know, that fourth career or whatever. No, I just no. It's just that like when he punches a paparazzi guy in the street or somebody who tries to take his parking
Sure.
spot, I'm like, that's me. I'll get in
Yeah,
that kind
me
of
too.
trouble. If I were in his place, I would totally get in that trouble.
Here's a
And
great,
I love his
here's a
acting,
great,
and I love the guy as a guy, and I love that whole that interview he did about his career where he spoke. He never mentioned himself once, and only the great people he worked with, and I think that's the sign of a real man.
Agreed.
Yeah, not to talk about your fucking self all the time, but to speak about the great people you were around. And I don't think he tried to kill his or wanted to kill his DP. Come on.
No one could possibly think that.
But you know, there's a lot of people who are out for blood. They want blood. And then there's the gun guys who are like, can somebody responsible be around? Meanwhile, I think Hollywood, for the record, I think Hollywood has a pretty good record because there's a lot of guns in Hollywood. There's a lot of guns on the screen. It's a thing we know from films all the way back in the Westerns, John Ford and so on, all the way up to now to John Wick. John Ford to John Wick, right? John Wick has so many shots to the head.
Fired, yeah.
Like there's thousands. And I've seen Keanu Reeves training for that shit. We all see that stuff on YouTube where he's training on a range. And
I'm sure
and it's very, very serious stuff.
Yeah.
The training De Niro went through for Heat.
Yeah.
Very serious stuff. They take it extremely seriously. I'm sure De Niro has a respect for gun owners and for, responsible gun owners and so on. And he's learned a lot. I'm sure De Niro can handle a real gun very well, or pretty well, at least pretty well, even though he's an actor. So I think that a lot of the gun folk out there are like infuriated that there's irresponsibility, that it's like an actor, a whimsical, lefty liberal living in New York gets to handle these things and gets to be irresponsible. Because the thing about that old revolver thing is you can see the light through the little barrels, the little, the dial. The chambers. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know I don't have a gun lexicon.
But we have some people here who are. Thanks, Mr. Badgas, for the $2. Slightly Buzzed says, we don't want Hollywood to preach to us about guns. Of course they shouldn't, because what do they know?
When they use them for profit.
Yeah. And are
generally ignorant when it comes to gun ownership and
well
safety.
Well said. True.
Yeah, because you're taking our thing, and you're using it. Okay, great. Look, it's just storytelling. It's not like they're saying, let's put a gun in there. It's like it's storytelling. This is you saw the shot there from the movie. It's an old Western they were shooting.
Sure.
And
look at The Sopranos. How many shots were fired on that show? Or Goodfellas. These guns have been used ad nauseum to tell stories without any incidents whatsoever. What happened?
It's been a look. Think of all the shots that have been shot.
Yeah,
shot on the camera. But shots that have been shot. Shots that have been shot.
I can only
what I
think
mean
of two.
is if it's Brandon Lee and then what's her name? Sorry,
Helena Hutchins.
Helena Hutchins.
Yeah,
they're 20 years apart. That's a pretty good track record when you think about it.
There was an actor too.
After Helena Hutchins, I think it's going to be, let's hope, 50 years, 100 years till or
How
never.
about never? Let's hope never.
How about never? But mistakes are made. How about never for a plane crash?
Accidents,
but, these things happen.
There was a show in the 70s or the 80s called Cover Up with Jennifer, forgive me, Bashies, but there was an actor, a guy on the rise. He was a promising new talent. He was exceeding crazy handsome guy named John Eric Hexum. And they were on the set and they were bored because they were waiting for, setups. And he says, God, this is taking so long. He took the prop gun and he pulled the trigger and the wad of paper came out and it went into his brain and it killed him instantly.
Yeah, because a blank is actually it's like a BB gun if you like
Yeah.
right there, and it's not going to be fun.
Yeah. So that was
Wow.
probably 1982, 3, I'm guessing.
Coffee. Yeah, we're not only talking about watches. I'll repeat this again because we're 40 minutes in. This is an episode of the Eye Bashers that I am putting on my own channel because we will be talking about watches in a few minutes. We're just getting this thing out of the way. Normally on Eye Bashers, we talk about pretty much anything.
I think we should put
Politics.
an Eye Bashers banner up from now on.
Yeah, that it's Eye Bashers. So if you came here for watches only and that's the only thing that interests you, I'm so sorry. But we will be getting onto watches actually soon. So, but normally you would not see this episode. You'd be deprived of it because it would be on the other channel, the Eye Bashers. There you go, Eye Bashers. Up she goes. We are the
I'm not
Eye
going to do it,
Bashers, and you who are watching are the
I need a
Bashies.
smaller one.
And we're all ready to bash. What are you wearing? Are you wearing your Speedy, by the way?
I'm wearing my your
MoonSwatch.
Moonbotch.
Your Moonbotch. That works.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Moonbotch, and
botched.
today I was under like a bunch of machinery. I banged it up. It was submerged in water for at least 2 minutes while I was trying to secure something, and not a leak, not a nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Let's have a look at it there. Nothing. All going strong now. Do you leave the chrono hand going? Yeah, you do.
I do. I don't always. No, it's off now.
It's off.
Yeah, but I could do that. I could set it so you could see, so everybody could see how fun that is, right? I'll let it go and then I'll go. It's not going to work.
My wonderful brother is in the room. My older brother. I have two wonderful brothers, one older, one younger.
Aaron is here?
Aaron is here.
Is he going to come on?
Who put a lot? No, I don't think so. Who put a live round into the gun and why? End of discussion.
Well, agreed,
it's a movie.
Agreed.
He's an actor.
He's an actor.
I'm the
He should
same.
just
Like
be
he's an actor. Like in the movie Speed with Sandra Bullock.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a fun action movie. Whatever. Is she supposed to check the bus and the steering wheel and the action of the? No, like
the tie rods and the ball
bus.
joints.
Yeah. Is she supposed to like open the hood of the bus and go, hang on, I know I'm an actress, or a female actor, I like to say, a female actor, but let me check if this, it's like, no, I'm supposed to look dramatic on screen. Y'all are supposed to be the experts and hand it to me.
Right. Y'all.
Oh, I'm wearing, by the way.
You're wearing an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak.
Yeah.
You see that?
King
and it's not a Fraudemar, it's the real thing.
It's not the Fraudemar. Let me give you a full screen just because I made a lot of the watch fellas wait while we talked about 4 weddings at a funeral.
Right. So pull out your dicks, boys, and get ready.
Sorry, fellas. So moving on.
Talk about watches.
Kent Daigle, he had some things to say last night. To blame Alec is silly.
It is, of course.
I think so, but I understand the other side. I don't agree with the guys who are like, Alex said bad things about Trump, so therefore he should go to jail because he shot that girl. They're dying to cluster those things together. That's silliness. Silly. Anyhow, so I was going to look at watch prices because this whole apparent crash conversation is in the air, which has kind of opened a can of worms, really, because there's a lot of sentiment about the economy in general. Oh, we're heading into a terrible recession like we've never seen. Michael Burry sold all his stocks.
Is that right?
Yeah. Except for one that is related to cemeteries. That guy's he's an odd fella. I don't know. I know he got it right for that shorting in 2008, but he became famous because he got it so right, and then they made a movie kind of about him.
Right.
But I don't know. I think he has a lot of weird predictions. He started investing in water, and that hasn't happened yet
Sure.
because he thought he saw water scarcity. That could be applicable maybe in 30, 40 years or something. I don't know.
Or Quantum of Solace. That was
But-
all about hoarding water so you could
Hmm.
supercharge people. That movie's misunderstood. It had a great plot. It was a great plot. Instead of nuclear arms or
It
some
was the
kind of
simplest
space
of
laser.
things.
It was something real that could happen.
But Michael
Yeah.
Burry is he's got Asperger's. His kid has Asperger's. He's a strange, odd fella. And
So
I
does
don't know.
Mark
I
Zuckerberg.
think I always find it to be odd when people use these guys who, in my opinion, may be smart, but they're like, they got lucky at a certain moment. And why are they the gurus? Why are they the men to give you all advice about what to invest in? Like Warren Buffett, everybody wants to hear what he has to say because he got so rich. So I feel like people who just want to get rich, they want to hear the rich guy. How did he get rich? I sometimes think that the guy who's poor has better advice. Sometimes listen to the guy who's actually really poor, who lost his whole fortune, give you advice, because you might actually get better advice from him. I saw one Instagram TikTok thing that they walk up to some guy on a park bench and he's homeless, and he had businesses, he had money, he lost everything, his wife left him, all of this kind of stuff. And he said something, he said the only piece of advice I have to give to the young folks is save your money so that your money can save you. So save your money now so that when you're old and you don't have the means to make money, your money can save you. That was interesting. Right. And that's
brilliant.
Poor guy
it's
on the
totally
street.
True as well. Because what happens when you can't work? You're at the beck and call of, social services and whatever you can eke out from that. Yeah, I mean, that's why people go around with shopping carts and they pick up bottles.
Right. And, Warren Buffett didn't believe in crypto. He didn't believe in Jeff Bezos.
No.
Warren Buffett didn't think that Jeff Bezos would really work. His idea, his business plan would really work. So should we really be listening to Warren Buffett? I think he's just enjoying being listened to. So it's the same thing with Michael Burry. It's like, this guy has 40 predictions a day. Are we really going to follow everything here?
Does he
so
have
right
40
now he's selling his
day?
I mean, the guy comes out with all sorts of stuff constantly.
What are tomorrow's lottery numbers?
No, like, what can you really predict? I got into it at, ad nauseum last night. Like, where were all the clairvoyants when
I know
COVID hit?
Because that's not a real thing.
Because it's not just that they denied, a lot of people deny the idea of COVID, but that's going farther down the line. Sorry, to pull it back slightly. It's like a lot of people thought COVID, and I did too. I don't know anything about markets really. COVID is going to bring everything to a stop.
By the way,
what?
We jump on these things, we learn everything we can about them. Why haven't we gotten into the market? You know why? Because money's not interesting to me. It's
also not. I personally don't think it's predictable stuff. I mean, there are certain things you can predict, but I just think the humiliating things are. COVID is humiliating. It must be, because when it kicked in, all signs were pointing toward recession, luxury items. Who the hell wants to buy a fancy yacht or a flashy car or a expensive watch while we're all under, while we're all stuck at home? Kanye. No, while we're all stuck at home and so on. Let me finish my point. Fuck. I'm gonna finish my point whether you like it or not. Who would have thunk it? So it just goes to show, like, this stuff is unpredictable. Why do you think these guys who are working the market all the time, speculating, shorting, blah blah blah, wind up going to the bar and down in Lower Manhattan at 5 p.m. when the market closes, and go, they need a line of cocaine and a few shots of whiskey because they just lost $500,000 for their client, because it isn't predictable. There is, I don't know if I've yet to meet a guy who's just right all the time. So it just to me is a lot of men who just want to think that it's predictable stuff and have all sorts of theories. And then you throw enough shit at the wall, someone's going to be right, you know?
Sure, somebody's
You're-
always right.
Or you're right once. It's like going to the casino. You're going to win that one time or twice, but you're going to lose 10 other times. I
Yeah.
just don't believe in all this crap. So everybody's like, oh, we're on the brink of a fucking global disaster and so on. Okay, that may be true. But to say it like you absolutely know it is another thing. Anyway, I did a video the other day saying you should probably buy your fancy watch now because things have taken a dip. They went crazy a while back, and that to me was an anomaly. And now they've kind of come back down, and they seem to have settled for the past few weeks or several weeks. And people are still convinced, no, it's not over. It's not over. And soon, wait 6 months. If you want to buy a Rolex, wait 6 months. They'll be giving them away with cornflake boxes,
That's great. The whole gallery is wondering when you're going to flick that ash, by the way.
Well, no, I'm going to try and hang on to it.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you hold it up. That's why I keep doing this, because it burns slower. It's much smoother when you keep the ash like that. So a lot of cigar smokers do it like that, because it's once the ash goes, things will get a lot harsher because it'll start burning faster.
Oh,
so you want to hold it like that. Yeah, as you go.
There's been a lot of chat on the side.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed. You're very good with that.
Hey, Kent, my weatherman can't predict rain. You know who can? Laverne, my cat. Cats, when they do this, when they, cats are constantly licking themselves. When they go behind their ear, it means it's going to rain, and it's 100% accurate.
Wow.
Whenever I see her do it, I go, really? Rain? And then there'll be no prediction, and then it will rain. So there you go.
So Leon says, this guy's a really smart guy, by the way. He was the chap I was talking to today about the gun issue. He had some amazing insights. $9.99. Thank you so much, Leon. It's mostly wishful thinking, as with the housing market. People are hoping it crashes so they can buy one. Always appreciate your nuance and insight. Thank you so much. This is it. A lot of people are like, no, it's going to crash. Everybody wait. No, don't give the gray market guys what they want. Wait. I've been hoping to buy. And I delved into some of the biggest trolls from last night. I had a look at them. I went over to a couple of them actually have channels. And it's very, very cheap watches and so on. Nothing wrong with that. It's great. Some great cheap watches. But I'm thinking like, oh, have they been hoping that everything crashes down so they can afford one? Or at least they can get that glory, that victory of seeing everyone who has expensive watches, see their arse fall out. It's like it's
I never understood that in my life, why anyone would derive joy or glee from that, unless it's a particular asshole that you have a vendetta against.
Yeah, but you have to understand the watch world is full of that. It's full of guys. Oh my God, it's absolutely rife with guys who they love watches.
That's a good one.
And they have, they have a lot of Pagani design and a lot of homage watches. There's a whole sector of the watch world that's dedicated to that.
Here it is.
Boy, do they hate guys
Moonwatch
with Moonwatch.
$38.
They hate guys with watches like this and a collection of Rolex. They hate them, and they just want to see them fail so bad. Like it makes their I'll zoom in on you. It makes their world make sense all of a sudden.
Yeah,
it looks pretty good, man.
It's perfect, and it's got great lume on it.
Cool.
We missed one earlier. I don't want to screw up Mr. Bad Gas, or is it Badges? Is it Bajaz?
Might be Bad Gas.
Bad Gas.
Knowing how picky you are, I'm dying to know what your home stereo gear is. By the way, wearing my Grenade Dial King Turtle. Yeah, great watch. Still love that watch. Was rocking it the past few days. Yeah, everybody wants to know. These are RCF speakers. I know they look like NS10s or something. The Yamaha NS10s, the famous ones a bit. But they're RCF Italian brand that was popular in the 70s and 80s. And they're great. I was actually gifted them from a friend of mine who has a big studio in Bassano. and I've carried them around with me since. They're great, and
Are they passive or active?
They are active, and that one's plugged in, this one's plugged in, and their reflex is on. Yeah, it's on the front bottom. It has that long breathing reflex for the air, for the bass to come out. You don't get super basses coming out of them, but they're great. They're nice. They're accurate. They're flat.
Bass has become exaggerated to the point now where it's just
everybody
it's
wants big boomy bass.
I don't want that. I want accuracy. I don't want that. I'm so sick of mixes being overly one thing or the other. That's trends in audio, trends in style, trends in music.
I figured I'd look at some watch vendors. Let's start with David S.W.
Yeah, let's go to David S.W. That's
have a look at what's going on, because a lot of people are like, right? you don't understand. Well, Tim and many other people, it's a big seller in the States. People are like, Daytonas now, Panda Daytonas are going for 25 grand. I'm like, no, they're not.
No, they are.
Where'd you get that idea from? So I just want to look at the actual reality on the ground for a minute. Listen, prices have definitely dropped. They've settled down for sure. Can you see that? I can never tell if you can. I have to go back.
I can see watches under $5,000.
Right. David S.W. This is his site. So let's look at some prices. Why not? Let's do some browsing. And let's go to Rolex. I know you're more of an Omega guy. We'll get to Omega in a minute.
I like me some Rolex, baby.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let's face it. Omega is not where the barometer of watch finances is lying.
It's
all Rolex all day.
So let's look at the hyped pieces. Let's go straight to the Daytona then.
I love the sub no date. I do love him.
Yeah.
You know what? Whenever I see a guy wearing that, I'm like, he's a man. I gotta say, you see a sub no date on a guy.
A sub no date.
That's a choice. It's a good choice. I like it a lot. I
Can
don't
remove
like
Mr. Bad Gas there for a moment. Can you remove
sure.
We have
Thank
Alejandro
you,
Caballero. Thank you so much, man.
Alejandro.
Just wanted to wish everyone good health, true love, and the watch of your dreams. Love you all. There's a lowly. Thank you. Here's a little Mr. North plug right there.
It's great, Mr. North song. Guys, everybody tonight, when you're done with the stream, go Google Mr. North True Love. It's one of my favorite of their songs.
You know, you want to hear an interesting story about True Love?
Yeah.
We would, because Mr. North, I'll take this off for a moment. Mr. North, that's the band I was in for years and years, guys. We would come up with the music first and the lyrics next, later. Okay. So it'd be like Colin going, like pitch it like you mean it. That song, pitch it like you mean it, was originally Picture of a Penis. He would sing Picture of a Penis. It was just like something he would just come out with. He would just
a placeholder.
Yeah. And then it'd be like, okay, we'll fix the lyrics later. We'll do the lyrics later. So we were writing all the songs for that final record, the final studio record, Everything. Was the name of it, Everything. And he was like, you know what? I want this, this, and this. I want to write the lyrics for these songs. These are the ones that really hit with me, I love them. I'm like, okay, I'll write the other lyrics for all the other stuff. Fine.
But who was writing the melodies?
It was a combined effort.
That's always the thing that drives me bananas about publishing. And I'm not going to bore any of you guys out there that don't understand that, but because that's a big part of Oisin and my world is music and lyrics. Publishing is only split into music and lyrics. Now, technically, a singer is singing music when they're singing the melody, and the melody is generally, but it's not a part of publishing at all. I mean, if you say I came up with the melody and the lyrics, but you only get the publishing for the lyrics, which by the way is 50%.
50% of the publishing.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to write the lyrics for that one. It was a very exciting tune, but it was like nah, 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 nah. I actually wrote the melody for that.
Oh, you did?
But he liked it and he would sing it and so on. Anyway, but he had already in his mind, he had already left the band. Like he didn't give a he just wasn't applied. He didn't care anymore. So I was left with the weight, and I kept asking him, "Hey, have you written the lyrics? Have you written the lyrics?" I'll get around to it. Sorry, man. I've been distracted by, or playing Monday nights in an Irish bar in the West Village, whatever the fuck he was distracted by. And so I was like, eventually I gave up. And I went, shit, I better write the lyrics. And I went to dinner with a friend of mine who is a conductor who conducted some of the stuff for us. He conducted that big 2007 thing. Yaniv.
Oh, Yaniv.
Wonderful guy, wonderful, sweet person, and a genius, total genius. And he said, I'm getting married. I'm getting married to Joanna. And I believe they met at that 2007 show. If you watch that 2007 show, she's on flute. And every time she looks up at him because he's conducting, she has this like blush, this thing. And you're like, oh my God, it's the beginning of them. It's beautiful.
The beginning of them.
Beginning of them.
That's another great title.
That's another good title. So he's like, we're getting married. We met down at some place down near Union Square for lunch, and he was like, I'd love you to write a song. And I said, okay. And I wrote the lyrics. I had someone else in mind, but I used that as a vehicle. And I threw down those lyrics in like an afternoon, and it turned out to be a very, very strong lyrical song. I had a few people who asked me for those lyrics printed to give to someone they were getting married to. So it turned out to be a good thing that Colin was lazy, but that's fine. So
great lyrics, by the way.
Thank you. So total digression. Sorry about that. I just figured I'd mention it.
Go check out that song, guys. It's great. And girls.
True Love. Yeah, it's a good song.
It's a great song.
So here's the Daytona. Black, the TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
That's a 33.575.
You still have that?
I do not. I got rid of every Daytona because they're too small.
Yeah.
I don't. They're beautiful. They're most amazing watch. But you're not a Daytona fan because you're a Speedy fan, but Daytona fans are the world over.
Yeah, I know. They weren't for the longest time, though.
Yeah, but now they are, and they have been for 15, 20
30
years. Yeah. So this is the TIE Fighter. I got mine at 24 about 14, 15 months ago. It's now, after the crash, or in the middle of the apparent crash, it's a 33.575 at David S.W. Now, I always think at that price there, 575 is what they're going to knock off it.
Sure.
So if you're interested in it, you say, can I give you 33 even? They'll say, sure. They'll knock off that 575. That's the way I see these prices. They're not going to knock off. They're not going to give it to you for 30. They're not going to knock off 3,575. Not for a Daytona. So it's at 33. That's pretty damn good.
That's
pretty damn high. It's certainly if you got one at retail. Here's the white dot, the icon, the Panda, at almost 38.
That's the one, right?
Now, it was at 48, coming up on 50. In some places it was even over 50. So I guess that's a big loss since then, but that was just that weird bump that happened. Let's take a look at that bump. On chrono. Bump, I think, is the most important thing to recognize. What is the this the 116500, right? So let me pull that up. I think the bump is the most important thing to be watching or to just take note of, because that's the thing that everybody is comparing to. That's why they think it's a crash.
Right.
I'm not signed in here, so it's going to give me lots of crap. So now they're down to, okay, you will find some private sellers. These are guys who they don't have a store, so they're desperate. And a lot of these guys are flippers who bought two of these thinking they were going to make a huge killing, hoping it would go up to 100 grand.
Hoping, right.
but they aren't. And now they're desperate. They're trying to get out of them. This is the whole point of my video. It's like, now's the time to grab them because they're desperate to get rid of them. So we'll take this guy here. This is a private seller. He wants 36,853. This is 3 times retail, just under 3 times the list price. So let's take a look at, because they have the graph. Oh, they don't. I have to sign in.
I hate when they do
I
that.
hate that shit. Okay,
I signed up for it and I don't always get it. Sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't.
Let me do it.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah. So
I'm looking on our little site, Collectors 1943, which is a Long Island jeweler, not an AD, he's a gray market guy. And we've gotten some watches through them. Prices are actually a little bit lower than that.
well, they will. Yeah, they'll be lower.
32.
32. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. With
Let's go
box
over
of
to him.
papers.
Okay. Well, let's go over to him in a minute. I
Yeah.
just want to look at. You see this? See that bump? That's the bump. I think that's the
We're not
problem.
seeing
here.
it. You don't have it in this. You're not
Oh
sharing
shit! I didn't. Sorry. Thank you.
Share
Thank you.
it, please. Sharing is caring.
I'm sorry. It's hard to keep. It breaks out. You hit the thing. It breaks out into a new window, and StreamYard does not follow that window. Now you have it. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Okay.
you see it. So it's climbing, steadily climbing. It was back at 16. Back in 2017, it was at 16 and a half.
Evoluzione di valore di un modello simile.
The evolution of the value of models that are
Models
similar. And up it goes. Look, 21, 22, 20, 25, 28. Now, I bought my TIE Fighter around there when it was 24, 20. No, I didn't. The TIE Fighter's a different one. This one was always a bit more hyped. 28, 29. This shit happened. And this is my
that
problem.
when you sold yours?
I got out of my TIE Fighter at about 34, 35.
And what'd you pay for it?
24.
Oh, okay.
So it almost completely paid for the rose gold Daytona that I moved up to,
Okay.
which I eventually got out of, also making about 10,000.
Because
on
they
that.
need to make a larger model Daytona. They just do.
Sure. So look at this. This is the bump. This is the madness that happened.
Yeah.
And I think if that hadn't happened, we're okay. We're kind of on the way up anyway. So it left off here about 34 and a half. And then just went, woo, woo, woo.
That's somebody who yelled fire in the movie theater.
At the beginning of this or the end of it, you mean?
The beginning of it is when it happened. Everyone went,
Beginning.
fire! Boom. And then people went crazy. Sell it off now.
I don't know.
And then
I don't
boom.
know what happened. I still have yet to hear of anyone who has a solid theory behind why these spiked at the very end of last year. This is this is December, and the beginning of this year, and just this shit. And it was up at 46. Then, of course, a few months in, started plummeting, dropping. And now it's back at 36. Now, if you think this white area here on the right that we can't see because that's the future, people think that this falling down here means it's going to keep going all the way down. That's what they think. I'm seeing prices kind of level out now down here. Now, not necessarily on this model because it's a very hyped model, but it's come back down to there, and I've seen them kind of settle.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you take a closer look, you see they've come down to 36 and now kind of beginning
Level
to
off,
settle, level off.
Yeah.
Now, I could be wrong. It could start going again downward. And that's what a lot of people believe.
John Mayer just has to say one thing and it'll happen.
Right. John Mayer says it. But
they're scarce, kids. They're scarce. Get it now.
I just think it's really interesting to me. Anyway, let's go back. I'll share the other screen. This is so annoying. There are other models that didn't suffer that same issue. that same problem. We're on the wrong thing. There we are. If I go back, okay, great. So people are saying to me, "Oh, you can get one now for 25." No, you can't. You can't. You can get a Daytona for 25, but not the same
Not
one.
that.
Like this
No.
is. There's one for 23,575.
Yeah, do you want
Again
that
at
one?
575.
Ugh.
Now think of
that.
that. Like this is one I owned, but I had the gold dial, the full gold dial, right?
Yeah, the full gold is way.
And I got it 2 years ago at 12 and a half. And I got out of it at about I think it was 16 or 17.
Did you have the black rings?
No,
It was
I had
all gold. It was full gold, right?
the full gold dial.
Yeah.
You know, if you know the channel, you know the videos about it. Yeah. White one's slightly more desired. It's very pretty. That thing is a 23 now. Let's cut out the 575 because that's their arbitrage there. Okay. So you make them the offer of 23, even if you lowball them and go 25.5 or 22.5. You're still up there. You're still way up there. So I don't know. Like, I think people are just, they're exaggerating a lot. Let's go over to the Submariners. Now there is the old no date.
Yeah.
I gave one of these to I owed Spencer like 8,300 at the end of our shenanigans there when he started getting nasty and weird, and Ratso occupied got inside his brain.
Is he still in that position?
Who?
Spencer.
Will Ratso? I'm sure.
Oh, what a shame.
I'm sure there was a very good reason why there wasn't any solidarity there in the end. Their solidarity is cash money. That's their solidarity. It's not. They've proven it. He's a lovely man, but I know what his value, where his actual values lie. That's been proven. Same with Paul. You know, we've all seen it in action. Unfortunately, that's what it boils down to. A distant second is friendship. So I gave him this exact watch a 10. I just said, hey, how about I just send you that? Because we were supposed to do this big deal for like 104,000 to a bunch of watches, and he was going to come out really on top. But then Ratso threw his fucking wobbly publicly, and we all know what happened. And I just like, okay, let me just clear the books here. Let me just send you a no date. You want to give me 10 for it? And he goes, okay. Of course he said okay, because they're worth more. And he since sold it probably for 12 or 13.
Oh, for sure he did.
Right. Now let's think of British pounds. He certainly made his money at least.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's still a 13,875. I remember getting, the date, the no date, and so on. When they were around, they were just, for the longest time, a Submariner date or no date was on the gray market was about 1,000 or 1,500 over list. That's what the profit you could expect. Times have changed, right? Even now, because this thing was at 15.
There's Emmett's Porn Fantasy, by the way, that watch.
Yeah.
He likes the old one or the new one. Which one does he like better?
I don't know if he sees he loves that watch, but I'm sure, if I gave him the new one, he wouldn't see a whole lot of difference. There's the Hulk.
Sure.
And that famously for years was 8,700 or whatever at the AD, and was selling for 12,500. I'm like, oh my God, it's so expensive. And then, of course, it got discontinued and shot up into the 20s, and people thought that was insane. And then when that famous bump happened, it went up to 30. It's now settled back down to 23, 24. Or if it's unworn, or this is probably when is this one from? Do they have the year? Yeah, it's 2017. So if you had a 2019 one or whatever, it'd be more. Or if it was unworn, it'd be way more. That's not a crash.
No.
That's still pretty damn high. That's still really high. Let's move over to Who I don't know, like Watchbox.
Watchbox. Tim.
Yeah, let's go over and see what they're doing.
Tim's got a new look. He's kind of looking rocky. He's wearing what was he wearing the other day? He's wearing an Accept shirt, and his hair's a little long. He's changed his whole vibe around. I watch Tim every day.
I haven't watched him in ages. I should.
I watch him every day.
I love these sites. When you click on a brand, it takes ages. You know why? Because it's figuring out where you are and it's reporting it back to all these websites. They have a disclaimer like it's not fully private. They're watching what you're watching.
Wow, that's whack.
Yeah, they come in the morning and they see what people are clicking on and where they are.
Let's quickly show Dez's track. Thank you, Des, for 20 pounds. Evening, gents. We're listening to True Love this evening in the car. However, Brandon loves Rope. Well, who doesn't love Rope?
Rope's a good one.
Which is the closing number on the Mr. North's second record. You should do a masterclass on something music. There's a new generation of kids that are missing out on mentoring. Well, that's a fact, Jack, isn't it? Because they've got Melodyne and Autotune and they've got all this stuff. Take lessons from a master first. Learn your craft, and then you can use the bells and whistles. Watchbox.
Thank you, Des.
Thank you, Des. Always.
And there's So It Goes again.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that Pepsi.
The spike was likely many reasons, but I think the Omicron COVID spike that follows a similar curve is the main. Many hard assets spike then. RU and UK, Russia and UK global economy stuff. I know now that it's happened.
Yeah,
we can all look back. Oh, you see, that's why.
Yeah,
but I've just if I find it funny, people saying this is what's going to happen in the future. It's like, oh, really? How? I mean, what if somebody else gets in on the war? You going to predict that? What if Russia hit that nuclear plant in Ukraine that everybody's terrified of? Then, yeah. What if Taiwan, and China, that shit explodes? Then, yeah. But if it doesn't, then maybe no. I don't know. But maybe. So let's have a look at.
Can we look at that? That first one? That's not green, right? That's not the 1165.
Does that look green to you?
Plus B. I mean,
this
it does.
One?
Yeah, that's not
it. Your screen has weird color then.
It shouldn't
very clearly black.
Okay.
That's a 16528. They didn't even make
they
didn't even make the green back then. Because it's got the diamonds on there. You don't like that.
No.
Let's take a look. Here's a model that's held its own for a long time.
Sure.
It grew, steadily and has held its own. It didn't suffer the spike too much. And it laid a stronger foundation. I think is a watch I've had many of at this point. Let's take a look at the trajectory of that. How do I share this?
That's the most unloved of all the GMT Master II.
And it's such a great GMT Master.
Sure,
it has its fans.
Doesn't have a colored bezel. So why would I want that? It's not,
No, but it has its fans. It is the 116710 LN. Let's look at the trajectory of that. I'll just pick a random one. Here we are, 14699.
I love the GMT.
It's a little lower than what you'll see around.
Oof.
So now what you see there is it was never popular, right? Because everybody wanted the Batman and the Pepsi. So it was never popular. As we go through back then doesn't matter because that was different back then. Nobody gave a shit. It was none of this YouTube stuff. It started crawling up, but it was still around list. And it was the reject in many ways. As you say, everybody wanted a Pepsi. They wanted a Batman. Sure. Then it got discontinued. That's the day. I remember the day. I remember the exact day. And I was looking at buying one. So it went from 7, just, under 8, to 10.5 overnight. Now, that was back in the days when a discontinued watch meant going up by 1,500 or $2,000. These days, a discontinued model goes up by several grand. It's a different trajectory. But look, then it plateaued then.
Sure, for a while.
And then crawled.
Mm-hmm.
And here's that famous bump that has left everybody blindsided, I think. and kick their logic really. Kind of.
By the way, I wish we had like some kind of magic computer skills where we could compare. Is that the same month as all the other ones did?
Yeah, it's all the same. Yeah, we don't
It's all
need
the
magic
same?
skills. We
So
can
then
read it. It's
something
right there.
Rolex did then. It's something
No,
Rolex
it's not.
did.
No, it's not.
If it's
not.
all the
Rolex didn't do
models-
anything. The entire market bumped.
Somebody said something. John Mayer.
Oh, well, maybe
It's his
there's
fault.
some. I don't know. I've yet to hear someone give me a real reason why. But this was the beginning of this. The very start of this year, everything went mad, and it went up. Look to 16. Now that model hasn't dropped that much.
No.
Even with the apparent crash, it just softened slightly and now has settled down to 15. And in fact, when you look all over Chrono, you look everywhere, they're still at 15. And it's stuck there now at 15 for ages.
Let me look to see what my guys got it at.
Now you have to be careful with your guy because
Oh, I know.
a lot of these guys, you'll see the lowest prices, they don't have box and papers. And they have like the warranty from them, and it's like, yeah, we don't care about warranty from you, not much. We care about the original box and papers. That's a different thing. So a lot of people coming forward saying, oh, everything's dropped now. I found a blah, blah, blah the other day for really low. Yeah. Tell me the details. Does it have box and papers? What's going on? So yeah, you just have to tread lightly here with this stuff.
Is that the 116? Oh, that's the
116,
10.
10 LN.
Yeah, okay. He's got it for 13,992.
Right. Now,
Let me see.
do you want to send me the link in the private chat there so I can pull it up? Go to the private chat you see on the top right. You can send me the link for that so I can pull it up straight.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool.
I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't. I'm trying to learn how to master this. Hold on.
So let's see the details on that, because some of these sellers, they like the fact that there are no box and papers, they hide very, very well. Thank you. Got it. So I'll share that now.
Ooh, this is a trick we didn't do before.
Yeah, it's just a way of like sending it straight to me. So
I like it.
I don't have to go looking for it. Oh, so he's got papers on this.
Yeah.
So he's at 14, competitive pricing. 14 is still very, this thing was at 7, 8,
Wow.
for so
We
long.
can dream, right?
Includes, box. Oh, no, hold on. Oh, yeah, it's got original, because quite often he'll have the certificate from his own place.
Yeah,
This
which
has
is like,
original.
yay.
Yeah, it's like, who cares, right?
It's certificate from Huntington, Long Island. He's got one for 14.2, a 2015, the LN.
So when is this? Oh, this is from 2014. So you'll find that you'll find this particular model goes all the way back to 2008, 2007.
Yeah.
And
He's
they'll
got a
be
lefty
lower.
for 30 grand. Is that what that's going for?
The lefty is, slow down there. The lefty is a phenomena in itself, because the left-hand drive, GMT green. Oh, shit.
It's the 126720 VTNR.
Thank you. There it is. The lefty, there was a lot of hype around it because it was a new thing.
Sure.
And it flew up. A lot of buyers were like, oh, I'll buy it for 35. I'll buy it for 40. Because they thought, oh, here we go. And this was just introduced at the beginning of the fall or the crash,
Sure.
or whatever people call it. And it just, it went up, but then it fell immediately. Now, this watch, if you bought it from Rolex, is, I believe, $9,000.
It's 9,800 now.
So we're looking at 34, 33 and a half.
It's almost it's almost 3.5 times the price.
But it fell. Wait, will you see the spike if I can show you?
Oh yeah.
So that's where it started. People were
Shut
speculating at 56. Now it doesn't have the history. What you're looking at on the left there is the tail end of the bump. You can't see the bump
Wait,
because
so
it
when
hasn't
this-
been around.
When
long
this
enough.
came out, it shot like the secondary market was instantly 60 grand.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because everybody got very excited, and it was every
And I'm left-handed.
everyone was riding very high right then. But we were right on the days of the fall.
Wow.
So it immediately sobered. But that's a sobering. Now we're at 33.
Well, that's still three
It's
and a half
still-
times the
yeah.
price. Wow. Should we go to Rolex.com to see can we go see what the actual retail is on that?
Yeah, we can do that. You go do it and just find the number for me. I want to
Sure.
continue on and show
Yeah.
people, for example, the Explorer 2. This is a watch that has not been affected very much at all. So there's the Explorer 2. I have one of these, beautiful, and they have, of course, the 226, the newer version with the wider bracelet and clasp and so on, and tiny differences on the dial. This is a watch that's still very, very high and hasn't really been affected by all of this stuff. So what you're looking at here is its slow climb as frenzy began on the internet. Then back when things started getting nuts, it went up. Now it started going up a lot when they brought out a new one, the slightly different one. Then everybody got moist about the new one and the old one. Like, which one do you prefer? And now you have the spike, and then you have the bump that you can see right there, but it's held its own. It hasn't fallen. It went up on the bump, and it's remained on the bump. It's still up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fluctuating, but it's still that's as much as it's fallen right there. And now it's straight.
Wow.
So as far as I can see, it's just things went, when you're on a boat and you hit a wave and everyone goes, whoa, and then it goes back down. Or you're on the plane and it hits a piece of hot air and woof, everyone like flies up a little bit, whoa, and the wings go whoom for a second. And then it kind of, regains its course again. That's what I'm seeing. Now, a lot of people are saying, no, this is the beginning of the end, dun, 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 because China is facing a crisis. And
China.
But I'm not seeing it too much at all. This is a watch a lot of people passed over. I did.
I hate this watch. I think it looks cheap.
A lot of people.
I hate the silk
kind
screen
of
numbers on the bezel. I just think
Yeah.
it just looks cheap.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not your taste.
It just looks like. I mean, now it's got like is the new one got like the anodized numerals that are kind of engraved on the bezel, or is it still that silk screen look?
No, it's not silk screen. These are carved out in the steel, and there's an ink inside there.
Yeah, it just doesn't look it doesn't jive with the rest of the Rolex catalog. It looks like their playful version.
It's a tool watch.
Yeah.
And a lot of people love it for that reason, that it's not on the fancy side of Rolex, it's on the tool side of Rolex. So it has its lovers.
But meanwhile, the Milgauss is like the sexy bitch.
Yeah, I mean, right now we've wandered straight into what you like and your taste. Okay, I'm talking about
what else matters than that.
Okay, so I'm just saying, a lot of people adore this watch. I personally do. I have one, and I think I love it for its simplicity and its tool nature. You stick this thing on a NATO, you stick it on rubber. It doesn't matter. It's a tool. Rolex meant as a tool for spelunking and for adventures. It doesn't have the shiny, sparkliness of a day-date. It's not that creature at all. And a lot of people love it for that reason. They believe this is like the true Rolex because that's what it was all about. It was about being a tool. So that,
but that's not the watch that went to the top of the mountain, though.
Well, no, this is the Explorer 2. You're referring to the Explorer 1,
Explorer 1,
which is a great segue. Let's go to the Explorer 1. And this is the epitome of the example of the exemption, I should say, the 214270. This is a watch that has not moved at all.
It's gorgeous.
And it's been immune to everything that's happened. They discontinued the 39 mil. They put it back down to 36. And the 39 has sat very neatly between 9 and 10 since. So let me grab. There are two versions. There's the Mark 1 with the silver, and then there's the Mark 2, Blondie's watch. This is Blondie's watch.
Oh yeah,
and it has the 396.
I love the 396.
With well, they all have the 396, but this has.
I prefer the one that was 399 or 3.
No, what I mean is okay. What I mean, hard left. What I mean is this has 396 with lume. Just like the new Air King. These are loomed and slightly longer hands, apparently. Okay. Not apparently, definitely.
The new ones have no lume, right?
The new ones have lume, yes.
Oh,
they kept on that thing. So this has, look, that's at 11,000. These were gone on the grey market for 7 to 8. And they were 6,900 or something list. It has sat. Let me go down to our little scale here. Look. You see? Sorry, I'm going to go back to my guy, the impersonation I was doing last night on the thing.
Bump.
So there's the bump that happened, and it stayed up there. It hasn't suffered any of the dip. The dip is happening to the big hype pieces. Now, let me pull up the CHNR, right? That is a watch that went hype very, very quickly. I got mine at 17. It went up to bloody 30. It's now settled at 22. That's as far as I can see. It's been for 5 or 6 weeks. It's been at 22. This is the root beer, the famous root beer.
Horn this watch.
Beautiful, right?
It's gorgeous.
So there you go. Look.
Oh,
you see what happened there?
So
boom. Crazy. But where it is right now is still higher. A considerable amount from where it was this time. Let me go to August. There's August of last year. It was at 18.7. I looked out. I got mine for 17.5, something like that. It's now been sitting at 22 in and around there for the past weeks. So I'm like, if you bought yours there, 2021, mid 2021,
sell it. Well, not now. Now it's come down a bit.
If you got it back in July, you got it for 18, and you get out of it now. It says there 23,779, but let's be realistic and say you get 21 or 22 for it. You still come out really well.
Yeah,
I think the problem is this bump, and people are interpreting the drop from that bump as a crash. But I just think that that's a bump in the road. That's all it was. It was a bizarre moment, and nobody really believed in the prices. Now, you want to see Patek and RM where their bump was. It was obscene. And it was the difference between paying 300,000 versus 200,000.
Right.
The 5711. Let's pull it up. Why not? We're here. We're doing it. Half of these are like they won't even tell you the price. You have to reach out to them. So this is. Let's take the gray one. It was, of course, discontinued. That's why it flew up. There's one. There's a private vendor. You can still see that right now. And that's a 250. That watch was probably at 3. And look at the bump there. It's not even a bump. It's a bloody spike. Look at that. It went from, do you remember, like a year and a half ago, it was in the 60s. Then it dropped a little. And everyone thought, oh, shit, I should have bought it, when it was 50 to 60 and made money. But then it started climbing. It reached 100, 130, then went to 221, 218.
For a watch.
For a goddamn watch. I know. Forget, we'll talk about Richard Mille in a minute, but That's where it went. If you got yours, I mean, this thing at cost, at list, if you're lucky enough to get one, they're now discontinued, so you won't get one, but was, I believe, in the region of 30,000.
It was 30,000. But here's my question. How can they fill the gap, Patek? How are they going to do it? With what? Nope.
Well, what do you mean? They discontinued
Calatrava?
it. No, I know. What are they going to do now? I know. That's
Is it going to be the 5712?
Yeah, well, there is the 5712 that's been around a while.
Okay, so what's going to happen then? It's going to be.
I don't know what they're doing.
New iteration of the Gerald Genta, blah blah blah.
They're interesting. These are very interesting cats. I think Rolex is too, and I've been saying it for ages. They're very artistic. Like they made the green one. The green one hit the market. Look, they won't even say how much.
Sure.
The green one hit the market and went astronomical. They don't even have the graph here because there's no price in this one. But
sure,
they went astronomical immediately. And of course, we all know what happened with the Tiffany one when that came out, right?
Well, that's leveled way off, right?
Okay, so they want almost $500,000 for this one, right? So this is going to have the graph, I think. No graph. Thank you, Chrono. So these guys don't even have this, look, because there's no photo. It's just one photo. So in other words, you send them the $500,000, and then they figure out trying to source one. And if they can't, they write you an email saying, "So sorry, we're going to send you your money back." But it's worth it. It's worth it for them just to get that money in their account for a few days. That's how it happens with a lot of these guys. So
Wow.
I don't know. I think what happened is, things just went nuts, berserk, and then they just fell off the other side of that hill. Yeah. And I think people are interpreting that as a crash because other things are crashing. Crypto hit the rocks.
Yeah.
And, the world is entering, we've had a tough few months and markets have been affected in the price of expensive cars and so on and so forth. So people are conflating that then with the watches. I think the watches have held their own. Obviously. Now, a lot, I haven't been watching the chat, but I'm sure a lot of people are saying, no, but you wait till you see, because that's what I've been hearing the past 48 hours. Wait till you see. This thing is going, I assume what they're saying is something to the effect of this thing is going to fall, even farther. As far as I'm concerned, until it gets to list or close to list price, it hasn't crashed.
Sure. Or under list.
Or under list is finally a proper crash.
Sure.
That's when you know.
That's
and then
every
everyone
other
can
watch
come
brand.
out and say, yeah, that's everything else.
Yeah.
There's the blue one. This guy wants 650 because it hasn't been touched. It's still in the box. They're double sealed.
Does it come in that kind of box? It's just
these are the boxes. Well, this is the shipping box. It's like the coffin for the Rolexes. They, that's how they ship them so they don't get damaged. I mean, it's a very expensive watch. You don't want it to get damaged. So it's a safer way of shipping it around. And then they put it in the fancy box when you buy it, for presentation purposes. Let's take a look at the watch I have on right now. Is it the 2633? I don't even know the reference of my own watch. There it is. So this I got at 45 in British. Went to there's a guy saying 99. That guy's just trying to get 99. He's just trying to push up the price of his watch. It ain't going for 99 anymore. It was for a while. But especially during that bump. But it ain't doing it anymore. Look, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, listen, if you see that bump there, erase it in your mind, right? Can you see my mouse moving over it?
Yeah, sure.
Erase that. Look at that spot there and that spot there. That's a straight line between there and there. They're a straight line. So if you're to draw an average between here and there, it's actually progress. Just ignore the stupid, bizarre. But I couldn't even believe it. I came back with a $50,000 watch from London, and it went up to 100 grand. Who was on the phone, by the way? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. A little fella from Radlett was like on the phone, go, "Do you want to sell that back to me?"
Yeah.
Why? Because he saw shit. That guy, after taking that watch, You still got to complete the payments on it, and he's after making 50,000 on it, right? Because look where it was. This is when I got it in November. So let's go to November. So it was at 52. That's roughly what I paid, because that's 45 British. So that's what I paid. And, I had COVID and I couldn't enjoy the bloody thing. I was suffering through this whole time. I got home. I was a zombie for weeks. And then we were getting towards Christmas. Look what happened. One day I look on the thing. I'm like, hold on, this thing is worth 100 grand. What the hell bloody
You should
happened?
have sold it that day.
I know, but I wasn't interested in selling it. And,
You weren't interested. I wasn't interested in 100 grand. I wasn't interested
no, I
in
wasn't.
50K.
No, but it was also like, hold on,
How
I
do
just
you
got
know?
the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, had I known, if I had a time machine, I would go back to there and sell it. Also, a lot of people were saying, wait till 2022. That's the year for AP. AP is already gone astronomical, doubling in price. Wait till 2022. Your watch will be worth 200,000 instead of 100,000.
It's 22.
So-
We're in August 2022 right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people thought 2022 was going to be the year.
I mean, it could still happen. First of all, you're not selling that anytime soon anyway. So,
No.
yeah.
In fact, I feel more comfortable wearing it now that it's down at 70. Now, have I lost? It's at 70. By the way, it's been climbing up because, of course, I've been watching this watch closely. It dipped to like 68, 69. Now it's at 72, 73. Let me see what, let's go over to Luxury Bazaar, Roman Sharf.
I'll be back in
Luxury.
a second.
Sure, go ahead. Let's see what he's looking for the same watch. Now, you see the way you click on it and it takes ages? That's because their server is locating you. They're watching you, guys. You have to turn off that shit. If it asks you, like, can you allow cookies, you should say no. That way they don't know what you're looking at, because they're monitoring everything you're doing. There she is there. 73,995. And Roman's price, in fairness to Roman, his prices are good. They're aggressive on the market. They're usually a little lower than other places that I've seen. He's a killer, that guy, for sure. This is the exact watch. The black dial. See this long reference here? The 02 is the black. The 01 is the blue, which goes for a premium, like all blue dials. And the 03 is the white. Beautiful also. So now it's at 73. What did I pay? 53? So that's a crash? You calling that a crash? If I get out of the watch now? Even if I take an offer for 70 or even 65. Now I know a lot of you, again, are going to say, give it a few months. It'll be down at, But I think I've repeated the point many times. You all got the point by now. This is what's happening now. What's been also happening are people are saying, they're finding the cheapest possible version online. They're finding someone probably with no box of papers or well worn, or some desperate, flipper who only has about 100 grand to play with, and got into one of these and a Hulk, thinking they would come out on the other side with 200 grand. Now they're terrified. They don't have any money to pay their rent, and they're trying to get out. They're trying to dump their stock, their product, desperately. And that's why I made the video the other day. I'm like, guys, take advantage. Like, get in there now while they're desperate. They'll take the offer. They'll probably be happy just to get their money back. Sorry, Dirk.
Sorry about what? Yeah. No.
So he's selling that at where was it? At 74. Let me see if I
Oh,
can find
wow.
it.
Okay.
It's at 74. Now, that would have been, I remember getting a quote from Ratzo's business. in Northern Ireland for this. You got the quote for me. Do you remember you did the favor for me? You asked
I
them.
did. Yeah.
We did a little covert trick
Uh-huh.
to see, because I was saying, well, what if you take this watch off me and you send me a bunch of watches, and that way I pay you off. And they were like, oh, they made a low ball offer, like something around 60.
It was 58.
58 was their offer.
Yeah.
And do you remember what they replied to you?
No, I could look.
I still have the text from you. You forwarded it to me. They said 100 for this, and 100 and 100. They said between 100 and 110, or sorry, between 100 and 105 for this, and 115 for the blue dial.
Oh, okay.
So they were looking to make 40,000 off it.
Wow.
Just to be clear, like, if any of you guys think that these dudes are making a few percent, they ain't, or at least they're aiming to earn a lot more.
Wow.
And that was even in that bizarre situation we were in, he still didn't offer me high money for it. No. So anyway, you can be sure that Roman back then was looking for 110 for this, because he's in dollars, and at the time it was 98 in euros, and at the time the difference would have worked out. Now the dollar and the euro are very similar, but not back then. But still, he still wants 74.
Let me go see if my guy's got that watch.
It's unlikely he will have. That's a really high ticket item, but maybe he has it.
Sure is. I seriously doubt it.
So it's the 26331. Even if he has the blue or the white. The white's a stunner as well. So this is my point.
Oh,
He's got it?
he's got the blue 41-26331 ST.
Yes.
00.1220.ST for 62,193.
Wow.
You want to see it?
Very aggressive. Yeah. Share it up.
Sure, here you go.
Does he have a look at the details? Is it worn? What year is it from? These are all important factors.
Yeah.
Does he have the years? Does he have box and papers? Good prices.
Yep, box and papers.
It's worn, assumably.
It's got the 5-year AP warranty.
Right.
So it's new.
Very aggressive.
Wow.
So he's dumping.
He's dumping it, yeah. 62 for the blue dial.
So if you go to him, and these are the best models, by the way, the newest ones, the 50th anniversary. Everybody's talking about the straightening up of the date window between 4 and 5, like it's a revelation, and then the exhibition back. But actually, this model is better because it's 11 millimeters thin versus 12.4. The new one is 12.4. It's a thicker watch. This is a beauty because they slimmed it down for the 20th anniversary of the Royal Oak.
Do we know that that's what this is?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see the details.
Oh, you can.
Also, it's the same reference.
Oh, look how thin that is.
Yeah, that's what I have on my wrist right now. Only I have the black dial. So that's really good. He's on the bleeding edge there at 62. I mean, that's extremely competitive pricing. And I reckon if you go to that guy and say, I'll give you 55, he'll probably take it because he's dumping his stock. This guy is a pump and dump kind of guy. Didn't you go there and there was like boxes all over the floor?
Yeah, it's a total train wreck. He's got unbelievable inventory of stuff. Incredible. However, it looks like it was ransacked by crackheads.
Right. It's a mess, right? So he's just grabbing.
I kind of like that, though. I kind of dig it.
Yeah, because you'll get a great deal.
Yeah.
As long as the thing turns out to be genuine.
On my father-in-law's Omega, which was, that's a Planet Ocean. It's, it's a beautiful timepiece that's, not highly collectible or very expensive, but we got $1,000 off on it. So. Oh,
that's an Omega. He's going to just take any offer on on a
Yeah.
planet ocean, he
Sure.
would probably take, I mean, he may not on this because he might say, listen, this is the cheapest one on the internet. So just fucking take it for what I've got.
I mean, we should just grab this watch now.
I know you got 62 in your back pocket.
Not right now, but Paul does.
So, you know, but you might have to sit on it for a while the things take an upswing. Or you sell it out. I mean, you can be sure that Roman probably bought it for around that price or 60 and is looking to make his 14 or 15 on top there.
Yeah.
That's extremely aggressive. That's great. I mean, you know, and he's a
got
tiny
crazy
little operation.
prices.
Crazy
I want to
prices,
show
yeah.
you something I saw before.
Let me just pull up some super chats here. LV. What's your end goal watch count? 6, 7, or 8 watches? Me? I have 80 or 90 watches. I want 3 or 4 that I'm happy with. But I think 4 or 5 watches is enough for any man, especially if they're icons. You know. Slightly buzzed, $10. The doom and gloomers don't understand that the rich get richer through a recession.
Sure.
Luxury goods just get harder to obtain for the middle class. Plenty of rich to fill that void. It's so true. The rich are sitting back going, oh, let's watch this happen now. Let's watch everybody go starving, if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
look, here's the John Mayer.
$50 from Andrew. Andrew,
what?
You didn't write anything.
Andrew.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, buddy. That's awfully kind.
So he's got the John Mayer. This guy's a maniac.
76 grand.
Okay, that's below. That's 25 below what that thing was at 180 or 200. Now most sellers, especially here in Italy, are selling it for.
Can you pull that up on Chrono? See what the history is.
Yeah.
So 116,508.
I actually spoke to a dealer just the other day here in Europe, and they're selling theirs for 120. They're taking a loss. If that guy's got it for 70, I mean, does he have it, or is he playing?
He's got everything anything we've ever gone there for. He's had.
Everybody should just fly to this dude and just swarm his crazy store with.
I'm getting rid of the names.
I know when you started mentioning this, dude, I was like, does Dirk really want to out his?
No, I don't really.
His in there, but okay. So, what is the reference on that?
It's the 116508 BP.
Oh yeah, 116508. Let me share this. Ay. I don't know if you should have told everybody about this place, but that's great. I mean, look.
Oh, whatever. Guys deserve it. 19.
Okay, we're like
big
drop.
Big drop. It's dropped.
Okay, now let me tell you something. Okay, there's a video somewhere on my Insta or somewhere on my channel. When I got the two-tone Sea Dweller, they let me try this watch on because they had one in the store, and they were like, "Hey, you want to see something cool?" And I put it on. I have a video of it somewhere on my Instagram or something. I let everybody know. But I said, "Are you going to sell it to me?" And they said, "No, somebody's already, got it. But if they change their mind, maybe we'll give you the call." It was at 32. When John Mayer mentioned it, it went to 48. And it was like, oh my God, 48.50. It was like the hype watch to have. Okay. And I said, this is really a hype watch. It's gone up to 50 since John Mayer. And these guys, these Italians, they barely even know who John Mayer is. But they're like, oh yeah, that guy. And they said, well, actually it's dropped now to about 38, 39, but you'd still make money on it. It had dropped. Okay. Now we're in the middle of this crash and we're at, what have we got here? 88.5, 90. This is the crash price. 92.
It's still significantly cheaper though. Can we look at than
it was before? Let's look at let's look at the spike. There she is, the same bump.
Look at that shit. Wow.
So I'm talking back here. And you see that dip there? That's the dip I'm talking about. They thought, oh, it was just it was a red herring for a month, and then it just fell. No, then it started crawling up like everything. Look at that jump there, 53 to 74
Yeah.
in a matter of weeks. Then
look
it
at
held, and then boom. I don't even think I think it went higher than that. It says here 142.
It went higher. Well,
It went higher. It went to 180.
yeah, I saw it a couple times at 180 because we were goofing around about John Mayer and looking at that.
There it is. There.
Well,
Boom. Drop.
very interesting.
Crazy. But still, it's way up.
It's way up from retail, kids.
So really, it comes down to whether you think this is a trend on its way down, sliding all the way down the hill back into the ocean again, or if it's just a bump. I think the bump is the thing that's interesting, not the fall.
I agree.
The bump is the unexplainable part.
Well, Rolex is still a great investment, kids. Don't believe otherwise.
It'll always be that brand that everybody wants.
Yeah,
Right?
it will be. And that's fine. I love that certain. I love how every once in a while, when they threaten to discontinue something, that the brand gets its day in the sun. The model, the Millie, the Explorer.
Well, there's a good one. Yeah, you're talking about the Millie, right? So
sure.
Milgauss.
It had its moment, and then
it's still up there. The Milgauss hasn't budged a whole lot. Let me share that. The Millie, of course, the hype went up, of course, because they thought it would be discontinued.
It's 13
and I
grand.
admittedly, I was part of that. I don't do much of that shit, but I did get in on that. Two. One was like, I better get one before shit hits the fan because I love it as a watch. And for a long time, I saw these things in the shop window. I'd pass them at 7,200 or whatever they were at list. Then they flew up, and there was all the rage, especially the Z Blue, because that's the remarkable looking one. And
to you,
now, to me, I know you like the other one.
I love the black one.
So
I love the Z Blue. Who doesn't? Come on, it's beautiful.
They're still up at 15. Okay, this is 13.5. That's one
cheap.
of the that's a 2016.
Yeah,
that's used, worn from 2016.
Okay.
If you have a 2021 like my own, excuse me, this is a 2015 used and worn. Let's look for an unworn one. There's one for 16.5. That's probably okay. Maya Dosata that's never been worn, from 2022, brand new, 16.5.
Okay.
So it's actually held its own. I think a lot of that maybe is speculation that next year will be the year when it's discontinued.
Maybe.
Well,
they need to upgrade it in a major way. It doesn't even have like a parachrome. It doesn't have any of that stuff. The hairspring, it doesn't have that. So, 1,000 Gauss, considering the entire Omega line is completely amagnetic, but it's a pretty beast. I love that watch.
Let's turn things in your direction a little bit, seeing as you're the Omega Meister here. Let's look at Omega for a second. No, Omega hasn't really been affected.
No, it hasn't, because it's not a stock market. It's not like, it doesn't rely on what Rolex does. Rolex is almost a barometer of the economy. Omega's not. Yeah. Look at that. The 300 coax, 41 for 58.
Beautiful.
53. Look at.
There's one I love there.
Bracelet.
The two-tone. I don't mind the two-tone in that.
Yeah, the two-tone's beautiful. Sure. Yeah. Only when you get into the Sedna and all that stuff.
The Bond is still up in the mid-9s.
Sure. Yeah.
It's These watches have kind of held their own.
Uh-oh.
What?
I
What did
saw
you
a red
see?
bezel. What is
You saw a
that? Oh,
red
that's
bezel.
the Tokyo
Tokyo.
2020.
Well, they
Ooh,
have a
look-
collectible edge because Tokyo
Yeah.
never happened in 2020.
Correct.
So
Well, the
it's
great
kind of
box,
almost
too.
an error, you know.
That's a sexy bitch. Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is a sexy bitch. The bracelet is not a sexy bitch.
Not for you.
I hate that bracelet.
By the way, that 1450 bracelet one that I was talking about the other day,
Yeah.
that Fine Watch Club had, it sold
Yeah.
immediately.
Well, of course, it's a 1450 bracelet with 808s.
Yeah.
Who
They
doesn't
had
want
it
the
for,
Grail
it was
bracelet?
like 7,700 or something. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's the Grail of bracelets.
I wrote to Mark. I was like, oh, by the way, I meant to like show that to my fans because they're always, you know, asking me about mine, you know. And he goes, oh, never mind, it just sold.
Sure, of course it's sold.
There's a beauty there, but I wish it was on the. But I would consider it on the leather.
Well, I
And
mean,
that's a watch I want, like on the.
it's a
full
watch you
gold.
want, but you want it on the full bracelet.
So let me show you an interesting thing. If I go to Chrono,
Yeah,
the Moonshine, isn't that what
Yeah.
it's called?
yeah, that's what it's called.
That one I was looking at for ages at 30, and this
It's
was
40.
not that long ago. It was back in you know, December or January maybe
Yeah,
during the spike, and I was interested in this one, and it was around 30, 32. It's since gone up to 55, 56. Look,
shit.
58. Look, I can't get one now because it's of course limited. And it has a piece of the moon on the back. There's actually a piece of moon rock on the back. That thing has gone up to 56 now. So these are watches that have not been, look at that thing. These are watches that have not been touched by this. First of all, they weren't touched by the bump. And they haven't been touched by the apparent crash or whatever.
And
you wanna
that
call it, the
bracelet
correction.
is just fucking Astroglide. Oh my god.
Look at that.
Oh,
The exhibition back.
oh.
And it has like a little piece of the earth there.
Yeah, that's not
And on the other side, that's a piece of the moon there.
Moon.
That's actually made from an actual real piece.
3861 is
of
just
moon.
absolutely gorgeous. Look at the finishing on it. It's unbelievable.
56 now.
Yeah, well. There you go.
So can I get? This is one of the new ones,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, because it's got the
Yep.
reverse panda on a rubber. I don't think I would get one on a rubber. So can I? Am I shit out of luck now? I can't get one. What can I get? Speedmaster Gold.
Yeah, you're shit out of luck.
I'm out of luck, right?
Yeah, you're out of luck.
They don't have. Oh, there's
I mean,
the one I want.
I mean, that's the one you love, right? That's your grail, right?
The
there.
Moonshine would have been ahead of it, but forget
Would it? Would it really? I
Yes.
think that this is so much prettier. Ooh.
I just because the other one's so special on the back and everything.
Yeah.
But this being rose or Sedna gold or whatever they call it, there you go.
Does
30.
this not have a exhibition
No,
back?
it has the exhibition, but I want the piece of the moon and shit.
Wow,
on the
wow,
back,
wow. Okay,
that's all.
okay.
The other one is like the 60th anniversary or whatever. But yeah, I'll take this any day of the week. This is in the States for 30.
Wow.
That's when it first came out. On the gray, it was at 33, now leveled off. It's been sitting there. Look, unaffected, really. They've avoided that. Here's another one I love, the green one. The green two-tone. The Tokyo. That's out of all the Tokyos, that's the one I want.
Is that the one you'd want?
Yeah, because it's green and gold, and I'm Irish. But I also like the I just like the green and gold.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it.
Up at 9, they were at 7,500 for a while. They just keep crawling up slowly. Let me have a look. They dipped for way back in 2020. I guess that's when it was announced that COVID is happening and they're not gonna Tokyo ain't happening, and then boom, and then it was like, oh, hold on, Tokyo didn't happen. That's a collectible item now. Boom, and they just crawled up. Do you see any bump there? Do you see the famous bump? No,
well, I mean, 20. This is no.
Now
really.
this is just now.
No,
it's the past month or two. So the bump didn't affect these at all. It didn't affect. I have the gold sub, the pre-ceramic, which would be the 16618, right? LB.
Yep.
A thing was at 30. I mean, it varies a lot depending on papers, depending on service and condition, so on. But it's been at, I mean, this guy wants 50 because he's probably got every single thing. It's probably new old stock, never worn, never touched, and
oh, look at that,
unpolished. Look, one owner. Look, and he has all the. I don't have that box for mine.
Look at that box.
Yeah, the old box. Look, yeah, he's never touched this. This was purchased and put in a bank and never touched. That's why he's looking for 50. But
he's gonna get it.
Maybe, yeah, from a proper collector who's mad about these things.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. I mean, that box is just such crap.
That's not the original box for that.
No, I know.
It might be, depending on the year.
Maybe.
91. It might be. That might be the box that they replaced. 36.
As far as Rolex hasn't upped their game on their box yet. Everyone did but them.
Yeah, I know.
Like Breitling has a beautiful box.
Yeah, all the boxes are great. The Patek boxes are stunning.
Oh,
Omega boxes are fantastic. Yeah, they're all great.
Yeah.
But I guess Rolex are just like, we don't give a shit. Yeah. Our green box is like a Tiffany bag. Just
that's what it is. It's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's iconic.
It's like it doesn't matter. Truthfully, you just put the thing away anyway. Like if you get one of those speedies with the NASA box, it's fun for about a day.
And then what do you do with it?
Then it's a nuisance around that.
You know what it is? It's like when you go to the store and you don't have enough grocery bags, so you buy the wicker one or the fabric one, and then you have 50,000 bags in your house. What do you do with them all? I must have 500,000, carry-alls. $1 each, all over the planet. And
I have like 10 of them here.
It's like I mean, my studio, which you've been in 8 million times, which is a very small room. It's 13 feet by 7.5 feet, and there are 16 guitar cases. I mean, and that's only the ones that are in the room. You know what I mean? Like, if I could just have like a pouch or a sleeve, it just gets so stupid with
the NASA box is fun, but it is a nuisance. And it's not just the box, it's a box inside a box inside another box. Like it's really enormous and very cumbersome.
It's a doll inside a doll inside a doll inside a doll.
Yeah, but now that they don't make it anymore, now that the new ones have a smaller, more modest box, everybody is like, can I get the one with the NASA box? Because it had the loop. Beautiful.
The loop is good.
Rubber loop, gorgeous, with the slits in it, so it lets in natural light, so you can actually, it's really, really nice. Had the tools, the extra straps, the big medallion thing, whatever. It looks like a fridge magnet, but it's
not going for that 60th anniversary Speedmaster when it came with all that sweat. That was the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen by a company.
Pull it up there.
When you got the, let's see if I could find it.
You still love that watch, huh?
It's my favorite watch ever still.
You sure it's not the old Pan Am GMT Master?
No.
Or the Milgauss GV with the black dial?
No, all of those, yeah, but no.
How's everybody doing? Let me go through the super chats while you're looking for stuff. So it goes, says, in solidarity with Dirk, on the bags.
Yeah,
We
man.
all feel that exact pain.
So many fucking boxes
Hello,
and
So It
bags.
Goes. I've never seen So It Goes before. Is he a new addition? Is he a new bashie? Are you a basher? So It Goes. You want to bash with us? MD Chaz, $2. Do you have a Patek Oshin? There is a Patek around, but it's no. My dream
Turn
Patek.
around.
Turn around. No, I mean, when it came to when I elevated from the Rolex world, if that's what you want to call it, where do you go from Rolex? You have to go Holy Trinity, Vacheron, Constantin, Audemars Piguet, or Patek Philippe, or maybe Alange und Söhne, right? One of those four, or FP Journe or something, getting into the really high horology, but maybe definitely those first three. That's where you go. That's like the next level. And I made a decision. For me, it's Patek or Audemars, right? And I just, because Audemars are big, I just went, you know what, they're me. Whereas Patek are a little bit more, they're subtler, they're smaller. But I still lust after one of those Calatravas with the moon face, the rose gold Calatravas with the moon face. That is just, oh my God.
Yeah, that's sex in a box.
That is just everything. But yeah, you might, it's a bit like going BMW or Mercedes or something like that. Like, it's a decision you have to make. So you either go Audemars. Now I have two Audemars, and I feel like I'm just going to continue down the AP rabbit hole for a while. But I would love. I think if I got a Patek, it wouldn't be the Aquanaut or one of the high pieces. I think I would focus on a Calatrava. And then maybe I would sell that IWC rose gold that I have, because it's such a beautiful watch. Feels like a dress watch, even though it's a chronograph and not strictly a dress watch. If I got that rose gold Patek Calatrava, I could maybe move the other one off. I also feel that Patek has a dressy thing to it. AP are cheeky and bold and bombastic. That's the thing about AP. They kind of like to smack you in the face. It's the entire Hublot aesthetic is based on what AP were doing. Hublot are chasing the coattails of AP, whereas Patek, for me, in my mind, Patek are, when I'm 60 and I want a beautiful dress watch. Oh, there it is.
This beautiful box. Look at this. This is what you get. This thing. Look at that.
Stunner.
You get that. And I mean, this is the watch. This is the most beautiful. This is the CK2915, obviously, homage with 1861 movement. But it's the most beautiful watch ever made. Speedmaster wise, of course. Because this is when you used to get a Speedmaster, you used to get these stupid, freaking ugly, boxes. And now
the red ones are horrible.
Well, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Oh, look at that. So now you get the watch, you get a NATO, you get a leather, and you get the bracelet.
That's their leather that comes with it?
Yeah, it comes with the leather.
Oh my God, that's
comes
stunning.
with 3 straps and a tool. Yeah. And like when you got the kit, when you got the set. Let me see if I can go back. The set I saw.
So this is not when you get it as part of the trilogy, right? This is
the trilogy. I'll get you the trilogy right now.
There it is, right there. There it is on the right.
That's
on the right.
Trilogy.
Far right. Far right.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. I don't want to see a YouTube video, you cunts. Who the fuck wants
it's a thumbnail, isn't it? Okay.
Look
there
at
it is.
that. That is what you get. That is a box of Petrus. That is a box of, Baron Philippe de Rothschild fucking Mouton. And then you get these watches. You get the Speedmaster, you get the Railmaster, and you get the Seamaster. And then you get this pouch. Look, individual pouches, individual NATOs, individual leathers, and all on the bracelet. Yeah, this was the sexiest thing ever created. Ever.
You can get that. I was offered that trilogy for 20 G's recently.
The trilogy, the full set?
The full set for 20.
Are you nuts?
I know.
Wow.
I'm not in the market. I've spent far too much money.
Yeah, okay, well.
Well, you know, maybe I should just hawk some other watch and just get that. Mind you, all those 3 watches are too small on me. Because
They
they're
are
all under
they're,
40
They're all
mils.
39. They're all
Yeah.
39.7. Yeah,
They're not like
are.
my Speedy. That's
They're-
the main Speedy I have. That's 42.
Meanwhile, I'm a 39. I like 39 because I have a 7.25 inch wrist, and this 42 is It's perfect. I never thought 42 would work on me, and it does.
Works
So you never
perfectly,
know.
man. Yeah, you never know.
You never know. The blah 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 blah. Sorry, I'm gonna do what I always do, because beautiful, but the broad they don't. They don't.
Can you
gotta
not
see it.
answer it? Can you read the thing?
Beautiful, but the broad arrow blocks the subdials. Same as with the new Tudor Black Bay chronograph with the snowflake, and it actually doesn't.
They do.
You got to see it
do
in
that?
person. I've worn that watch like 10 times, and I'm always like, I don't know what my problem is. But now it's
I love the broad arrow on the Speedy.
oh,
I love it.
sexy.
But he's right about the Black Bay chronograph.
That I don't know about because
Yeah, because it has that snowflake. It's a kind of
Yeah,
square.
it looks like a
turned
fucking
on
like
its side,
like a Saint Bernard should be wearing it in the Alps, like on its way to help people because it looks like a cross. It's like a giant thing, and like with a brandy, with a little barrel of brandy.
I love
You know,
that. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Not my thing.
Yeah, because it can if it's 8:45, 8:45, you cannot read the subdial on the left on that one on the Tudor chrono because there's just too much hand in the way. There's no way you're looking.
It's just too much hand in the way. That watch is
hand in the
handsy.
way. Handsy, very handsy. So it goes. I would hop on, but I won't with my job. Did somebody ask if you could hop on?
Hop on what?
Onto the stream, I think. Anyone else that we missed here with the super chats? I don't
we got 'em
think
all.
so. Oh, here we are, Mr. Bad Gas, looking hard.
Oh,
the Panerai
the
Pan
211.
211. Yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
well,
Hmm.
that's class. Sandwich dial,
I can't. They're too big for me. I
old
can't wear them.
fashioned. Yeah, they're really, really big. JJ
I'm not Asian.
Sierra Alta. 999. Thank you.
Oh.
Hi guys, I need your advice on the 4th watch current Explorer 139mm Mark II. So that's the 214270. Rolex sub no day 2021. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Rolex. I like this
Oh,
guy.
come on.
GMT Master II, Batman Oyster. Ooh. What would you recommend for the perfect 4th?
Well, he's a Rolex guy, so then you need a gorgeous date just with a blue dial on a Jubilee.
Yeah, something kind of dressy.
Dressy. Because you don't, you've got all sports
sportsy.
models here.
Yeah. Something
So
dressy
I would
and
go-
sparkly.
I would go with,
If you're going to stay within Rolex.
well, obviously, he's
outside
a
that,
Rolex
there's lots
guy.
of other options.
yeah, I would go.
clearly he's a
I would,
Rolex
I would
guy.
go date just
Yeah, something sparkly for
on
the
a
wedding.
Jubilee. Yeah, for the weddings, for
Your
the
friend's
for the
wedding.
events.
You
Yeah,
put on a nice shirt.
beautiful
suit,
blue
yeah.
dial.
Yeah.
can't go
And go Jubilee because you don't have any.
Yeah,
You've
you
got a
all
shitload of
bracelets
oyster there.
Yeah, you got your
Go
all
something
oyster there.
dressy, man. If you don't want to stay within Rolex, get something with a leather strap, a
Like a
Calatrava.
Calatrava.
An
'Cause it's the ultimate dress
IWC,
watch.
a lovely IWC, very elegant chronograph. You don't have a chronograph there. I don't see a chronograph there.
Nope.
What about an IWC in steel with the blue hands? What about that? Or what about a Speedy? But a Speedy isn't dressy. It's kind of toolish and tool
It is.
watches. But yeah, you've definitely got a launching pad there because you've got a lot of stuff really heavily covered there. I think you should.
Yeah, I think he's got the gamut. He just doesn't have a great dress watch. And depending on what you want to spend, I mean,
He
what
could
about an
go
overseas? What about a VC overseas?
right.
Like the 2305V. That's beautiful with the blue dial. That's
Yes.
a gorgeous watch. Oh, wow.
And a bit more dressy. Or he could stay if he wanted to stay in Rolex and he wanted to get dressy. but remain in sports and oyster. He could go Yachtmaster Rhodium
Yeah.
40
Uh-huh.
or the rubber band with the gold one. That's very stunning. Or
Sure.
he could go two-tone Daytona.
Could.
Because the Daytona is a kind of a dressy looking watch. It dresses up nicely,
Yeah.
even though it's a tool
It
watch.
does. They all do. Yeah, they all do.
Yeah.
What watch doesn't dress up nicely? But Speedmaster looks beautiful with this suit because it's sexy.
Yeah, it's
They all
true.
do.
That,
It's
it's
very-
true that all these watches really dress
They
up
all
really
look
nice.
good.
We're just picking.
I mean,
we're
we're just
picking.
picking. They all
Yeah.
look beautiful because they're all beautiful timepieces. So it's not like somebody's going to go, this is a formal event.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing with?
What are
yeah.
you doing?
It would
wearing
have
that?
to be a G-Shock.
What is that? What does that watch only cost? What does that cost? $15,000? Change that now.
Get it off your wrist. What are you
Yeah,
doing here
so
with
no.
that?
Yeah, but my personal opinion, I think you should go. I think you should go beautiful. Maybe
Or there's a
rhodium
very good
dial.
suggestion from
Oh.
Graham Colson, a JLC Reverso would be
Always.
so different to everything else you already have.
Yeah.
And the classic, it used to be a sports watch, but of course, so dressy. Reverso.
I mean, if he was going to jump brands and stay in that class and just go elegant, I'd say JLC or the VC. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. But you know what? If you're a Rolex guy, just go teach us. Beautiful. They're gorgeous.
So
for the
dressy,
Jubilee.
so beautiful.
Oh.
Get her on the Jubilee with the fluted,
Oh,
sparkle city.
sparkly. Oh, can't beat it.
Um,
Go get that tomorrow.
Graham
Get on the
Colson is
list.
also saying, asking, will they discontinue the SD43? That's the watch I have, the Sea Dweller with the red line. I don't know. Remember, I've been saying this for ages and been laughed at by many other YouTubers and so on. I don't think that Rolex do things. They don't discontinue models because they're not popular or because they're not selling.
They do it because
They do it for an artistic expression. They have this kind of theme going on, and they don't care. Everything's selling, for them. They don't, like when they discontinued the Hulk, everybody was saying, there's no way they'll do that. It's too popular a model. They don't care if it's a popular model. They're artists.
Well, look at Patek. Look what they did. 5711.
Yeah, they got
their
rid
bread
the
and butter
5711.
gone.
Yeah,
gone.
Yeah, they said, no, we don't like this being the hype watch of the world. We're discontinuing it. It's like a band saying,
we're never going to play
for
with
that.
or without you ever again. Sorry,
Yeah, we're never
kids.
going to play our, yeah. It's like
We're never
Radiohead
gonna play
saying, we're never going
one-
to play Creep again.
Never
you know?
gonna, right.
We're not interested in playing Creep again, or whatever. Yeah, your most popular song, because these guys are into they sit on that edge between art
And commerce.
and they consider themselves artists. We may not consider them that, but they consider themselves that. They're all about their expression of their brand. I've been saying that for ages about Rolex. It keeps being proven time and time again. Nobody seems to be listening. Nobody listens to me. No, but it's just like, look what happened with the OP colored OPs, the Tiffany 41, the most hype piece on earth.
Everybody
last
came
year.
out with their look at the
And they
look at the-
discontinued it after a year. Doesn't make any business sense at all, but they're just like, we're not about business sense. We're about just putting out our ideas.
right.
And who's been following? All of us. Slightly buzzed, $20. Thank you so much, man. Thoughts on Cartier Santos two-tone reference?
Classic.
Oh.
I mean,
Can
it's classic.
Can you
right?
pull up that reference though? The
Yeah.
two-tone Santos, so it has the gold bezel.
I
right?
have it right now. Hold on.
Beautiful.
Sure. I mean, Gerald Genta's the first big watch he did, right? Isn't that the first major Gerald Genta entree into timepieces? Yeah, it's a pretty famous watch.
You mean Gerald Ginta? Gerald Ginta.
Champagne.
Because he was from an Italian family, so it's not Genta, it's Ginta.
Ginta, right?
Yeah, but of course,
Was he from Italy though?
No, his family was from Italy. He was French himself. It's a bit like Anton Juge, or one of these They had different backgrounds. Yeah, because his family were Jaegers. You know, they came
Right, I
from
know.
Germany. They
I've
settled
seen
in
people say,
Alsace.
you know, those Jaeger Culturies? I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
But they
I don't know
settled.
what
They were
that
in
is.
Alsace, which were, and then
Yeah.
it became Francofied. Then he lived in Paris and worked for Cartier, so he became Jaeger.
Yeah, this
But,
is Gerald Genta. This watch. Yeah.
That's a beaut. That's a
Sure.
beaut.
Yeah.
And listen, Cartier can do no wrong. I think
Anything
they
with
just-
screws on it is Genta.
Okay, he loves the old screws, huh?
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
his thing.
you can never go wrong. Just don't get the quartz version.
Well, if you're a woman, you've got no choice. They're all quartz, even the
Are
Ballon
they
Bleu.
all quartz?
All those small watches for women, even the Ballon Bleu in small.
I know the
get to-
Ballon Bleu is, they have a quartz.
Yeah, but
Let's
once you get
see.
larger, they get into automatic.
Look, it says high jewelry. Let's look at high jewelry.
Like when Blondie was here, we were shopping around looking at Cartier, and she was into something gold and vintage looking and square like a tank, but they were all quartz. Then we went to my friend Simone, and he had that Audemars and Piguet,
Admore. Oh my god!
and it would look like a tank, but it was an automatic movement. Yeah, no, and I was like,
I mean,
okay,
let's not
now
get into the whole
we
Cartier
just
world right
stepped.
now.
We stepped up into it.
It's too sexy for your wrist. Too sexy for your wrist. So sexy it is.
I will pull up just for the end of the show the Cartier Drive, which is still a watch I'm after.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Get the Santos, man. If you want it, get it. It's beautiful. Buzzed. It's
I
beautiful.
do.
Get it.
This is a watch I'm after. I mean, it'll have to wait because I'm between stuff right now. But it, doesn't stop me from looking, right? Oh, that opened a new window. You see, this is annoying. See this, the Cartier. Now that one doesn't have the the moon phase. I need the moon phase. This is her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at it on the wrist. I'm having fits. Okay, I'll share this screen. This is a better screen. Let me do that. One moment, please. This could easily fill that gap for me with that Calatrava space.
It sure could.
Tell me it's not like outrageous. And you can get these things at a nice discount for the past while. Nothing to do with the market or anything.
No.
And it's so slim. I love a slim watch. Look at that's dressy, man.
That's beautiful. How much is that?
I think they're around 17 list. It's a piece of solid rose gold with a solid back. I don't think it has an exhibition. So it's a chunk of rose gold on your wrist.
Wow.
But I think you can get them at about 13 or 14 on the gray market. With a moon phase. I just love moon phase. Has a little star next to the moon. Look. Not lovely.
Yeah, that's a beautiful watch. I mean, the Cartier dial is undeniable, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's dressy, top level dressy. What a gorgeous deployment. Oh, dear Lord. Stop.
Oh, Lord, won't you buy me a Cartier watch? Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, guys, I think we are coming to the end. 2 hours and 30 minutes practically. Thank you so much for anybody.
Beautiful friend.
All super chats are going to Dirk tonight because we haven't had a whole lot. I'm trying to send some money over to him. So anybody who super chatted, thank you so much. Dirk is
I love being here. It's fun.
Irreplaceable basher, Jedi basher, as always.
To think we started this 20 years ago, and
I
everything
know.
I start 20 years ago comes back around again.
Comes back. It's true, man. It's true. Your band is back
It's
doing
true.
their
Isn't
thing.
that so weird?
Isn't that crazy?
What the fuck else? Maybe I should go start dating my girlfriend from high school. She likes girls too now. So we're fucked.
You come full circle in your life.
It's so funny. But thanks everybody for tonight. We had a nice time. We talked really heavy watches tonight, which is something we don't do on Bashers. But you know what? It was really fun because, I like watches too.
You certainly
and
do.
I like to geek out with that shit. So
I was hoping to get you into like quizzing you about movements and so on Omega there for a minute. I was like, I was ready to go. What movement does that have, Dirk? And what about that one? And what about that one? Just to get you. And you're the only person I know who knows the references off.
Oh no, I think a lot of people do.
But
I was just wrong about Gerald Genta and the Santos. He didn't design the Santos. He did the Pasha. I was wrong about that. So
okay.
Forgive me, people.
Oh, okay. Good.
But
to know.
He did the Pasha and he did the Vonqui or the other weird watch there that I didn't know. I just did a quick little side venture because I was like, you know what?
Yeah, you got to
I
be
think
careful.
The Santos is too old to be Gerald Genta. And
he said, Benzo, thanks for watching, man.
Yeah.
And have a great Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Oh, there's 1X with $10. Great chat.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, 1X. Thank you so much. Just want to make sure I haven't missed anyone here.
We don't
Daniel
go on the
Katz.
Archie channel and e-bag like Tim and them do.
Yeah, we don't do too much of that now. Daniel, great to have you in the room.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thanks, Russell. Cartier fits Oisin personally better than AP. No offense.
You don't have a Cartier right now, right?
I do not have a Cartier, no. I do not.
Surprising.
I had the JLC Reverso in gold for a while. Yeah. Very, very small on me, though. Very small.
Too small on you.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll ever be able to wear. You know what? You'll be able to wear.
Tank American.
Tank American you could wear.
It's long. Yeah.
It's long. That's it.
There's
waiting for a sham Mercury MoonSwatch on your. I mean,
talk about Panerai. We haven't talked about Panerai. We'll talk about Panerai on a different show. Okay.
Yeah. Panerai.
I love Panerai. Big fan. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anybody.
We just missed Rob
Morrison.
What does that mean? Waiting for a sham Mercury MoonSwatch on your rector. Thanks, Proust. I mean, I'm wearing the fake. This is a fake one. This is not a real one.
That's the Mercury.
This is Mercury. This was $38 on AliExpress.
Right.
And it didn't come with the box or anything. It just came in a bubble wrap. And this thing, I gotta tell you, it is money. Is the mission to Mercury? Can I get the little thing on the back? I mean, it is. I mean, I don't have a high def camera on my iMac, but it is, everything about it is almost. The only thing I said, and I've said this before, is that the strap is just slightly wrong. It's a deeper. This is a lighter color, slightly.
Right.
This thing has been through the mill. I've gotten it wet. I banged it up. I scratched it up. There's no scratches on it. It looks great, right? How about that?
Very good. I'm gonna get a real one. I'm gonna just buy it out.
I mean, I'd like a real one too. I'd like a real Mercury because Mercury's my favorite. But you know what? I'm also slightly falling in love with Earth. I saw it on a guy.
That's the one that sells for least, I think.
It's pretty
on the gray market.
It's really pretty.
I
definitely want Neptune.
There's some guy here in Venice who has 3 or 4 of them. Clearly, he had his mates all go along to the boutique, the Swatch boutique, if that's what you want to call it, the Swatch store.
Sure.
And, so he's selling at a profit. And I made him an offer earlier this evening, and he said, sure. And maybe I'll go. I'm paying over the list, but I couldn't be arsed going and waiting outside. And it's only
who could. So how much over a list? Let's let me talk you out of it. 200 over, so it's 400
450.
Oh,
but it's the Mercury, which a lot of people want.
But
like he's selling a different one, I think the pink one or something, for 300.
Nobody wants
but I want the Mercury so I can put it up next to my moon. What was it? Botch.
Your moon botch.
Because I bought one on AliExpress and it's a total crap. It's not.
My AliExpress one is money.
Yeah,
I'd like to try another one. I got it in 2 weeks. You got yours much faster,
I got mine in a week. Yeah.
and you
Well,
ordered
it's
it
like-
after I ordered mine.
Yeah.
I'd like to order another one. Yeah, would I like a real one? I guess I would, but do you really want to pay an extra $250 for that shit? I don't know.
The way I see it is, I mean, if I absolutely adore it for some reason, I don't see why I would. I mean, I have real speedies and all
No,
that,
but you'll adore it because you can beat the fuck out of it, and you
because I
won't
don't
give
care.
a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's a
I'm-
certain freedom to that, isn't there? Yeah. It's a liberty.
I mean, I haven't taken this off to shower. I leave it on.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but no, I'm thinking about the channel. Like, if I do a real versus fake,
Yeah.
Moonswatch, I'll probably
You'll get
make the money
100,000
back.
views.
You know what I mean. It'll probably be good
Everybody
for-
loves the fake videos, don't they?
I also kind of have a responsibility to do that. Don't
You
I?
do. You do. You do.
Being a big speedy proponent and all that, and having a channel, show the people what the differences are. But I have the worst possible fake. I should get a decent fake so I could, because I'm gonna get all those people saying, that ain't a good fake. You should get a good fake versus the real one.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, a fake is
no.
a fake is a fake, my friends.
Yeah. Thomas, thank you, Thomas. Cheers,
Aw.
bashers. Get a drink on us,
Thanks.
Dirk.
Let's see a
Let's see.
Neumann microphone. Yeah, sure. I'd love one. But you know what? To be honest with you, this is the original blue from Latvia. This is the real one. This was the good one. This is now they're made like shit because Logitech bought blue microphones. They're not made in Latvia now. They're made in China, and it has the polarity switch on the bottom. This does not have that. This is just an oldie fashioned mic. This is a great mic. I mean, sure. Well, like which one? A U47 or the TLMs?
Even
I'm
an
assuming
87i, the NI, the nickel
Yeah,
87. I had one of those for a while.
yeah, you
Great,
did.
great mic.
Sure, those are great.
Benzo, Dirk versus Tim Mosso. Can you
Welcome
imagine?
and it happens it closes with a snip and a snap.
A snick and a snap.
A snip and I love Tim Massa. He's a rock
Andrew, my God, you're the man.
star. Oh my God, Andrew!
He says
For
for
Blondie.
Blondie.
Wow. Hello.
Okay. Is Blondie still around? And I don't know. She's
hasn't
at
been
the
on here
beach at the
tonight.
moment. She's having the time of her life.
Yeah.
She's loving the beach.
Good
She
for
loves
her.
a bit of sun and beach. That girl.
Good for her.
A happy person, a smiley, sunny person.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for any super chats. You guys are the best.
Everybody. It
and I
was
hope-
you guys were a great crowd tonight. Thank you so much.
yeah, really good crowd, and no trolls as far as I could see.
No trolls and no come enjoy my pussy very cheap.
Yeah, none
For
of that
14
Russian.
ruble. We didn't have any of the Russian
Yeah,
sexmonauts. None of them.
no, we didn't have the sexponauts.
None of them. It's my pusmonot. Come for the ruble I give to you. You like make the sex with chicken. We have also goat. And for extra price, you can make the fuck with girl in back. She is also blow up like dirigible. You can have that.
Thomas Burnett, just because you gave us a super chat also, the original blues were really good. You're right. Since they brought it, they've gone a little downhill. The blues, I don't know which ones you're talking about there. Although, by the way, a small thing, I heard a rumor that the blue MoonSwatch has been discontinued because it was
Because it's
bleeding.
rubbing off on people?
Yeah,
That's
and so-
Neptune, right?
That's Neptune, I believe. No, that's Uranus or Uranus.
Uranus. It's Uranus. It's Uranus, not my anus.
Yeah, it's Uranus. That's what I heard. I heard a rumor that they're not selling it anymore because of that problem. Because that problem, of course, reaches outside of any criticism you could have of the watch. That's a whole new thing.
Yeah, that's
So they don't want that bad press.
So what could they do? All of a sudden, what we demoted it like Pluto?
Yeah, it's gone. It's been thrown out of the gang.
There is no Pluto, right? Is there a Pluto?
There is no Pluto now because it's not really a planet. It's
It
kinda
is
a
so
broken moon,
Dwarf
thing.
planet.
Dwarf
Fuck
planet.
that governing body of planetary sciences. How dare you? My very educated mother just served us 9 pickles. That's how it goes. What do they say now? My very educated mother just served us nothing. What else could it be now? Well, that's because all those other fucking
224 prices and the Neptune will
Kuiper
skyrocket.
belt.
Of course, because if you can't get it, it's hard enough to
my
get
God,
one
what
of
do you
the
mean
other
I
ones.
can't have it? What do you mean I can't have it? I've
You
got
think
all
I
this
should
money.
buy? You think I should buy that Mercury for $450?
No.
What do you think I should do?
I think you should
I'm not
go to
going
the
back to the
Swatch
store.
store.
Every time I pass the Swatch store, I pop my head in and go, "Hey," and they're like, "Yeah, you just have to be here at the right
But
time."
do you know who I am? Do you not know that?
Don't you know who I am?
Don't you
cough into
have any?
cough into my fist?
No, I am. I'm not kidding. You should just say, I'm Oisin O'Malley from the Timeless Watch channel, and I want to feature it on my channel.
They'll be like, "Yeah."
Do they really not give a fuck?
Of course they won't.
Really? What do they want that you can provide them that they can't have?
Nothing. There's nothing. I just have to be one of these 16-year-old kids that wait outside the place. They wait all day until they see that guy going in with 10 or 15, and it happens maybe once every 2 weeks. And they wait around. It's one of these things that happens all over the place. I'm not arsed doing that shit. Not for a plastic watch or the quartz movement, no. But maybe I'll just give the guy his extra money and get the thing, and maybe I'll give it away on the channel as a prize or something. I can turn it around and maybe get some of the money back. Figure it out. Make a review. It'll get a lot of hits.
There is a Pluto.
There is a Pluto?
Mission to Pluto. That's
Which
silly,
one?
are we? Because we just don't give a shit. You want to see it? It's right here.
Oh, it's the red one, is it?
Yeah, look.
Oh, so we totally ignored that. Poor El Pluto.
I know.
Yeah, because there's 11. There's 11, right? So it includes the Earth and the Moon.
Pluto.
It includes the Moon, so there is a mission to Pluto. So we're totally morons.
Dedicated to the dwarf planet. Is dwarf acceptable anymore? It's that little people. So the little
Yeah,
planet.
you can't say dwarf anymore.
Not allowed to say it. It's like midget. You can't say midget.
Exhibition X, thank you for another fine evening chat, gentlemen. Negronis and H. Upman, 1844. I had an H. Upman ready as well, just in case this other one, because the color on it looked a little odd, and it wasn't the greatest cigar I've ever had, I have to say. A bit of a headache now off it. This is an H. Upman, the banker. I had that as a backup just in case the other one was just, unbearable.
You can go, meow, she. I'm making a big deal with the banker.
There's always that chocolate thing with H. Upman. I love it. I love H. Upman.
Where is
So
H. Upman from?
Well, it's Cuba.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
What kind of a name is that, though? H. Upman.
Yeah.
It's like the Jewish guy that bought the plantation.
Yeah, the Jewish guy who moved to Cuba.
He's German,
bought up some of the land.
Two ends is German.
Yeah.
And is Jewish.
Yeah, I don't know actually the full history of Upman, but
That's
they're high level. Upman are great. I've been smoking Upman for years, and they're high level. We're very lucky here in Italy. All the good stuff gets sent here. Big cigar central here, and big supporters of, Fidel and all of that. Anyone going against the man, they love that shit.
Sure.
Michael Paris, Upmans many times have a hard draw. Yeah, because they might be packed very dense. Look how densely that one's packed. Well, you can't really see on this, but it's super densely packed, and it's a big tree trunk, very robust. We just keep talking. I know, it's so funny. We're supposed to quit like 15 minutes ago, but thank you all for hanging around.
Thank you all very much.
We will see you guys on Wednesday.
And watch Midnight Express before you go to bed, because Ray just told you to. Yeah. Have you not seen that? How have you not seen that?
I know. I need to get on it.
It's a masterpiece.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night. See you on Wednesday for the midweek bashing.
Wednesday.
Bye.